You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Tonight. How's everybody doing out there this evening? I hope you all are doing and living well. And we always start the show off by thanking all those awesome people in the winner's circle. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And a special thanks to Shelly and Wolfram who support us over on Rumble as well. We are broadcasting live tonight on Rumble X and YouTube. And away we go. Thank you guys so much. Special time tonight. Been a busy day here, so we're starting a little bit later, but that's all right because we got it all covered for you. And so happy to see all these awesome folks out in the crowd. Evelyn Cox, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Wolfram, my friend, how you doing? Thank you for dropping these links. Remember when you're here to always listen to the wolf because he knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, he lopes in, and he howls. And that's how you know the alpha mod is in the house. Who else we got out there this evening? Cool Gamer, what's up? How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. And there's Shelly talking trash and truths. Our hostess with the mostest, welcoming everybody in with big old hugs. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We got Heidi saying hello to everybody too. How you doing, Heidi? Welcome to the show. Jacob Castro's in the house, y'all. Jacob Castro is here. Good to see you, Jacob. He's holding it down over on the Rumble side. Thank you guys for being here on Rumble X or wherever you are. Jacob, how you doing, my friend? How's everybody doing out there? Talk to me. Tell me how you're doing as I get things working and on their way this evening. Let's see. Okay, that's working. That's working. That's working. And that's working. Okay, good. Lots of things to go working on tonight. Very special broadcast this evening. Lots going on. And, it's a Thursday edition of Winning Tonight. So we're going to have a big general session here about what's going on in the world and what we can look into and all that fun stuff. So I got some good stuff for you this evening. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we're going to take a look at these California fires a little bit closer and get down to the root cause issues of what's going on. California's got a big problem, and it starts with an M. It's called Marxism. And those policies are coming back to haunt them, and it's costing people their property and in some cases, their lives. And also, it's just some bunch of bad policies. And when you have a bunch of corruption, when something happens, it gets really bad, right? It all shows up there. All your dirty dealings show up when the shit hits the fans. It's Gremlins. What's going on? We good? What's Gremlins? Where are the Gremlins at? Where are the Gremlins at? Definitely. I love the Rumble pirate flag. All right, cool. What we got going on? Everything cool? Check. All right. You guys are freaking me out with the Gremlins talk. I've seen the movie. I know what they do. They're troublemakers. That's all they are. Bunch of troublemakers. All right. I wanted to talk about something very important to kick off this evening. And that is this.
Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Kill everyone in there.
All right. That was the test. It was a drill. Did you guys get your zebra avatars on? you guys get your zebra avatars on? Because that was just a drill. That was a drill. If it was the real thing and you didn't have your zebra avatars on by now, I don't want to think about what would happen to you. But, good soldiers follow orders. And I want to make sure that everybody here is safe. Now, I got you the zebra badges. You can go to the Discord. You can pick up your own zebra badge, or you can make one yourself. As long as you have a zebra badge on your avatar picture, you won't get shot in the face. So make sure that you have that, because if that had been a real zebra alert, we'd have a lot of mess to clean up right now. So did you guys get your zebra badges on? That was your chance to practice for the real thing. So I hope everybody is paying attention, because as you know, we will be going into the wild, wild world of Dr. Stephen Greer next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Disclosure Watch. We know that he always keeps his... Oh, there we go. See, hey, there we go. Yes, perfect. Shelly's going to survive any zebra alerts that may happen. And yes, do it. Make sure you do it. It's a chance. You have like about 15 seconds when the zebra alert goes off. About 15 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds to get those badges on so that nothing bad happens. So, and when you're at full code zebra alert, you'll see the sign here pop up. You'll hear the alert, and you'll have like 15 to 20 seconds to get ready. And then the bullets start flying. So please, ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of this awesome base crowd, please get your zebra alert badges ready in case we have to go to a full code zebra alert. All right. That was just a drill. So I hope you guys be prepared. Always be prepared. It's good soldiers have to follow orders. All right. You know what comes next. Right? You know why. And then we have to follow it up with a phone call to Moscow to ask them what's going on. And then I guess that's over. So, all right. Yeah, the first thing you do is after a zebra alert, after you take everybody out that's not supposed to be there, violently, you call your enemies and ask them what's going on. That's the way it works. But next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be on Disclosure Watch. And of course, Stephen Greer never tells a lie. And he is always out there telling us exactly what's going to happen. So according to him, that's the night when all the big news comes out. So we'll be watching that. And I think we're going to try to find the most recent interview of his out there and take a look and to see if there's any new evidence, any new twists and turns to the story that he's put out. And we'll have some fun with that. But we will be on high alert because, he says so. All right. Yeah, you have to have some kind of zebra print. You have to have zebra something going on. See, it's the zebra itself that makes you not get shot. You have to have a badge, an avatar, just stripes or something. Just something that makes you look like a zebra, so that way you don't get taken out by the good soldiers following orders. Because that's the most important thing during a zebra alert is you want to be able to get through it without unscathed, right? But I have gotten permission, and I have gotten you guys all authorized to have the zebra badges, to have the zebra avatars, so that if it does happen, you all get to survive it. Otherwise, you may get timed out for just your own protection, right? And this is for national security. Remember that. This is why it happens. So, anyways, there you go. What do you guys think? You like the background? You like the background? Did you notice it? Did you notice the background? Trying something out here. See what you think. Make it a little bit more lively back there. And then I don't really feel like I need to turn on the background. But if I did turn on the background with all this, it would look like that. So you guys tell me what you think looks good, because you have to sit here and watch it. And I aim to please, We gotta put something up there, right? Aim to please. Do you like the thumbnail or the stars in the background? I think I mean that might work, right? And it might improve the quality of the video. I just don't want anything lagging on you guys and making it look like it's like, public access TV or something. Because it is. We're drifting through space. That's right, Jacob. That's right. So we're going to get into this California situation here. I got a series of videos here to highlight the problems, and we will analyze those. We will also go in and look at Biden's latest gaffe, right? His latest gaffe. We're going to take a look at some on-the-ground footage of Greenland. That should be interesting, right? On-the-ground footage that's going to help us learn why we need to make it our 51st state. Wouldn't that be exciting? How are we going to add more stars to the flag? What are we going to do? I'm serious, you guys. I hope so. I hope you guys got your avatars ready. Because now that we've entered this world, you never know when a zero alert could go off. And we have to figure out what the hell's going on. We're also going to look into some deep state leftist activity in terms of the upcoming inauguration. We're going to talk about that later in the show. And we're going to talk about, of course, the SCOTUS ruling. And we might just kick off with that. Let me see. Do I have that right here? Okay. So we're gonna be on watch tonight because between tonight and tomorrow, you're not gonna do anything silly, are you? Oh Jesus. Okay. It's gonna try to I'm not turning off my ad blocker for you, Rotors. You know what? I bet you good old fashioned grounded news has the same story. It's even better though. Grounded news, based news. Okay, there you go. That's what we're gonna talk about. So as we were preparing for the show tonight, jeez, turn that off. Turn that off. All right, there we go. Bright screens. I don't like bright screens. I like dark mode. As we were preparing for the show tonight, the ruling actually came out. So we will be sharing this news together. And let me see here. Can I just click on this? All right. Well, we'll do it that way. We'll do what you say. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. Is this work for you guys? Or should I go with this? It's a little bit better. You don't need to see me all the time, damn it. You went years without seeing me, so it's not that big deal. Not that big a deal. All right. So as we were waiting to start the show, this news came out. Supreme Court rejects Trump's request to halt sentencing and hush money case. They keep calling it a hush money case. That's their terminology. We should call it big grift case, deep state bullshit case. There we go. So let's click in and see what we got. All right. The Supreme Court rejects President-elect Donald Trump's request to delay sentencing in his case, his witch hunt case, allowing Judge Juan M. Marchand to impose a sentence on Trump. Trump was was quote unquote convicted of quote unquote 34 felony counts for quote unquote falsifying business records related to a quote unquote $330,000 hush quote unquote hush money payment to Stormy Hoare Daniels. And so the court's 5-4 decision means Trump will not face jail time, fines, or probation as indicated by Judge Marchand. Trump's team plans to fully appeal the conviction, claiming the case is politically motivated and threatens the presidential transition. Yeah, but unfortunately, they're going to have to wait to get to the appeal process. And a state level court at the Supreme Court level seems to be the issue here. So, yeah, there we go. Seems to be the issue. So, what are you going to do, man? That's just the way it is. So the thing is like, okay, well, don't worry. We're not going to do anything to you. And then you get there and they do something to you, right? So that's the worry. That's what we're worrying about. And We'll see if they try to pull a fast one. If they do, it's going to be an insurrection like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe. On their part, that is. Of course, them doing it. They're the ones doing it. And that's bullshit, as we all know. So I look forward to a day. I look forward to a day when this is not an issue. I look forward to a day when things are cleaned up and on their way to being right. So there you have it. That's the big breaking news there. I should have did some breaking news for it. Should have put the breaking news. Here we go. I'll just do it now.
Breaking news, breaking news. Everybody loves breaking news.
There you go. A little late, but better late than never, right? And better never late. SCOTUS. Well, I know. Could they actually make a ruling on it, or would they have to go by the book? I mean, it was a state level case, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not a law guy, right? In case you couldn't tell, I'm not a law guy. But anyways, yeah, I'll get around to doing that in a second here. Let me see. That should help. That should help a little bit. All right. I'll have to get around to change the other ones later. All right, guys. What is it? It kind of looks great. You like it? You like it? Because if you do like it, and we keep it, the background that is, I have to buy my son another projector. He actually got it, and then I was like, "Wow, that's cool." They didn't have it on the night. I was like, "Can I try it?" And I put it out there, and I was like, not bad. It's something." But the thing with these projector and these light projector things is I try to make it so it's not on me. If I go back too far, all of a sudden I got, So I don't know. We'll see. All right. Rock and roll. SCOTUS wants to play it out at state level and have Trump appeal based on evidence issues. Yes. That's what it is. She does? Really? Since when? I swear my device has a mind of its own. It's auto typing for me, JK. Really? Awesome. Guys, how's your Thursday going? It's Thursday. How is your Thursday going out there in wonderful world? In your wonderful world, that is. How's it going? Let's get over to our top story this evening. These fires in California. I hope it's a wake-up call. I hope that this right here turns California red finally. It needs to happen. That's a great state if it wasn't so messed up. I know a lot of people have given up on it, and I don't blame you. Is there redemption? Can we do it? You think if the place is burned down, maybe people will get the idea that their ideas are bad and their leadership is bad. If you don't want to know, it's been a rough week. Sorry. You don't want to know I'm sorry it's been a rough week for you, Jacob. Anything we can do to make it better? Anything we can do? Would it make you feel better if you I don't know, watch Nerd dance for you? Does that make it better? I hope it does. I hope it makes it better. Good. I'm glad you're okay. All right, let's get the did that work? That worked a little bit? All right, worked a little bit. That's a plus. Okay, good. I'm glad you're breathing. All right, let's get this guy over here. All right, we're gonna bring in Tim. And what I'm gonna do here is instead of playing these things out, I'm gonna I just going to play parts of the parts, because I think up until a certain point, this is what I want to talk about. And this kind of goes with the title as well. And then the next couple quick peeks at other content will allow us to understand the point we're going to make here with all of this and why we must end cultural Marxism in all its forms in our country. And we must do that, as I've said many times, by taking a generational approach to the ideological subversion we've been under since before all of us were born. So it's going to take a minute to fix it, but let's go ahead and listen to what old Timmy has to say. And I think I have to just hit play instead of close it. Here we go.
Donald Trump has now called for the resignation of California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Do it.
The LA
You're fired.
wildfires has been an unmitigated disaster. Only around 10% of the fire is currently contained. New fires are emerging, and it's actually extremely horrifying. In one video, it appears that you can see the charred remains of an individual.
Ooh.
The Weather Channel was filming, and we don't know for sure, but as they're filming through the debris and the rubble, it looks like there is a charred skeleton amidst the rubble. So it's terrifying. It's sad. And, my heart goes out to everybody whose lives were destroyed by this. The Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica, Altadena, Pasadena, all of these areas, they're beautiful. And it's a shame that through dereliction of duty, mismanagement, and these failed policies, we are seeing what is, I think, obviously an avoidable disaster. There's so much to go through here. I mean, there was an advanced warning of the potential for fires with the Santa Ana winds coming in. This is like a regular thing. People know it. And the mayor left for a vacation off to Africa anyway. They knew, they were warned, and they should have been here. But it's more than that. And we can talk all about the water problems in California, but what we can clearly see here is an absolute failure on the part of the corrupt politicians who run the state.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big difference between Donald Trump and Gavin
wait
Newsom.
till you
There's a reason
hear
why
that.
Donald Trump was elected president twice.
Yep.
Gavin Newsom, he's on a video. Anderson Cooper's talking to him about what's going on. Why do firefighters have no water? And what does the man say? Locals are trying to figure that one out. You're the governor. You are the leader of this state. And this
just throw it over the wall. Just forget about it. Throw it over the wall. They'll figure it out. I got governor stuff to do, like go on vacation.
Generated tons of outrage, massive outrage. The buck stops with you. And that's
right.
the difference we see between real leadership and failed leadership. I don't expect Gavin Newsom to resign. He won't take any responsibility for this, though he should. But a good leader says, it is my fault. A lesson I learned when I was a kid. I was going to school and a train came by.
Good story.
And the train took like 45 minutes. You get the train tracks in the street, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I was late for school. I got tardy. And my dad told me, the train tracks are there. It's your fault. That's an important lesson. You have to plan for these things. The buck stops with you. You can't sit down and just say, well, the universe dictates. No, chance favors the prepared. And in this instance, Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, these people who are supposed to be leading this city, this state, completely failed. They know the fires happen. They know what the weather patterns are like. They know the warnings are here. They didn't refill their reservoirs. They didn't hire enough firefighters because they didn't want white men. I mean, this is absolutely insane.
It's all there.
Now, there's a big concern that these fires may actually be either eco-terrorism, people intentionally starting fires to burn things down, or just homeless people starting fires. And of course, the left. Well, what are they saying? They're saying it's climate change.
Yeah, I forgot that one, guys. Sorry. When I was going through my rant the other end about what everybody will come out and try to say about these things, I forgot the left always goes to climate change whenever anything happens. I was so busy talking about the other side and all the things they come up with, laser beams and all that stuff, that I forgot that the left is the king when it comes to making up excuses that aren't real for things that happen. Fires happen, man. It's a dangerous world we live in. Fires happen, man. Eco-terrorism. So the whole thing about that is like, how do they pick out, we're going to go to the Palisades and do it there, and whatnot. Hang on a second. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare anybody with the zebra badge there. So don't freak out. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Tilly's being careful and just keeping hers on. I mean, talk about being prepared. Talking about what did he just say? You said being prepared favors is favorable. There you go. She's prepared. She's already ready, just in case. And by the way, why I am taking a short stop to say something, let me say this. Thank you for the super chat. Talking Trash and Truths, $10 super chat to cheer up Castro. Yes, and if you want to cheer up Castro too, send $10 super chat. That makes him happy, and it makes whatever's going on with him okay. All right, just to let you know. See, there you go. It makes him happy. He's had a rough week, so if you want to make him feel better, just send in a super chat, and that'll happen. All right. So, anyways, let me just give it 1 second.
I think
here.
they're saying it's climate change.
Climate
It's
change,
not-
yeah, right. Always, right? Like a broken record. It's like, okay, guys, there's your default. Hey, man, what's up? Anti at Jack, what's up? How you doing, man? Good to see you. How you been? How have you been? I can't tell what that is. What do you got there? Something peaking. Something. All right. Good to see you, though. Hope you're doing well out there. All right. Anyways, yeah, they always say that, right? Like, okay, yeah, the fire just sprung up because of climate change. So the fire just happened out of nowhere and it just burned crazily and we ran out of water and all that stuff. It's not your policies. It's not the people you elect. It's, blame somebody else, right? Don't blame yourself. That's a childlike approach. That's what the difference between a boy and a man is, or an adult and a child is an adult accepts responsibility. An adult accepts responsibility. Child makes excuses. A child tries to avoid accepting responsibility or ownership of an issue, right? When we accept ownership of an issue, we can solve the issue. We can resolve the issue. But when we try to pretend like it's not our fault or it's out of our control or it's somebody else did it and we can't do anything about it, well, nothing gets done. And that is the Democrat, leftist, Marxist leadership in a nutshell right there. That's what they do. They always blame other people. And then they try to profit off it. Of course, they never let the crisis go to waste. And who knows what they'll try to do off of this, right? Let's listen to some more.
Not because wildfires happen all the time, but this is how they pass the buck. Their policies have failed. Los Angeles, they call it the homeless capital of the developed world, the largest homeless population in the country. We know, and I can pull up all the sources. I've done it for you.
There's another problem right there too, right? How are you the capital of that? Huh? I wonder how that happened.
Where homeless people start fires. And they still try to say, no, climate change.
You know why they start fires, especially in the wintertime? It's cold. That's why. It's cold and they live outside. Cold outside equal fire.
Well, I got something for you. California is like the most progressive state, right? No one's done more for climate change mitigation, right? Then why is it affecting our states? Why is it?
Anti-at Jack. I am going to be talking about Greenland tonight. Absolutely. I'm going to get through this fire segment and then we'll go to that. All right. So hang with me and we will be talking about it. A couple guys went there and took a look for themselves and we're going to figure out why it needs to be our 51st state. And maybe you could add some stuff to it if it interests you, man. I'd love to hear what you have to think about it. What do you think about it?
Happening in other places. And they're going to pass the buck and they're going to say, we are suffering because of you. And this is the problem with communists. And I'm saying that somewhat tongue in cheek. Okay.
Couple things right there. He was talking about one thing and he said another, but he's going to make the point. I think if he's willing to do it, what he would, or maybe a little bit more sophistication on the topic. I don't know. I would say, like the title says, cultural Marxists and communism and communists, right? Because they're both rooted in the same thing, right? But they're not necessarily the same thing. Communism refers to more of the economic stance on things. So they're both at play here, as I'm going to lay out for you in the next two segments here. In this segment with the next two videos, I'm going to walk that path and show you that it's a combination of both and why the toxic idea of Marxism and cultural or communist, the communist economic side of it, right, has no place in a free, sovereign, constitutional republic like ours. Has no place in our country. We must get rid of it, and we must stop tolerating it. That's the one thing we don't have. We've been tolerating this mind virus this mind virus for way too long. Like we tolerate it, like we're so open-minded and we're so nice that we got to tolerate something that's a vicious strategy to destroy us. Let's tolerate that. Would you tolerate rattlesnakes in your house? I mean, they're animals. They can't help what they are. We're going to tolerate it. Let's try to step around them, and hope we don't get bit. Like, I'm going to tolerate rattlesnakes in my house. Yet, we tolerate Marxism in our country. We have so much evidence in history that this is a root cause issue of so many problems, not just here, but in the world itself. The starts of world wars come from this ideology, this toxic, evil ideology. I don't care what Tim thinks. We disagree on this stuff. There's no redeeming qualities for it at all. Some drunk old guy comes up with a story about bullshit, with another guy feeding him the underlying agenda for it, right? And the whole world buys into it. Who is Karl Marx? What did he ever do? What did he ever do besides write a goddamn book? Did he hold office? Did he lead? Is he a leader? Huh. He didn't do shit. Yet he holds all this, still from the grave, holds all this power and influence, and corrupting minds on a generational level. How is that? How are we doing this? How's this happening? Has anybody ever stopped and thought about that? How is this happening? I don't get it. But I think that he's going to go. He just talked about a lot of the buildup was talked about things that were caused by cultural Marxism. But now he's going to go to the economic side of it. So we're going to let him talk here. That would be the communist side of it. And that's the way I see it. Hey, memento mori. The Constitution was never intended to protect ideologies that promoted the destruction of the country. And I agree 100%. Why do we tolerate it? Because people who are brainwashed make us do it, and we don't even realize it. They're manipulative. They're gaslighters. They're the worst amongst us, and yet we go along with it. Like, what are you talking about? You're talking like a crazy person, right? What are you talking with this Marxist bullshit? You're talking like a crazy person. Like, why are we even considering anything this person has to say? That's the political correctness. That's the root of, oh, well, then you're not listening. You don't believe in free speech, right? They'll take you all the way back to free speech if you don't listen to them. Shut the hell up. And I believe in, live and let live. But again, I'm not going to tolerate rattlesnakes in my house.
Literally, not everybody's a communist, but that's the ethos of, I have no responsibility for any of this. It's your fault. Instead of recognizing, they cut the budget on their fire department. Gavin Newsom,
there you go. There's the communist part of it.
Has no plan. The locals will figure it out. They say climate change. But let's break through this news, my friends. Before we get started, head over to castbrew.com.
All right. So this is about where I thought it was fine. I'll play a little bit more just to see what he says. I don't need to hear about his Cast Brew coffee, though. I think you can decide to be an affiliate now. I just don't want to promote Ian's coffee. The guy can't play guitar.
Brew, and check that out. Here's the story from the Post Millennial. On Wednesday night, President-elect Donald Trump called on California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom to resign following the failed response to the deadly LA wildfires.
Okay, I get that. Okay, we're gonna move on. We'll go to the next one because I'm building a story here. So here we go. We're gonna go do that next. Oh, all right. At Jack winning. Can you search? You can search easily with a good 100% vetted results. Donald Jr. in Greenland. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna do the Charlie Kirk video. Charlie Kirk video, man. That's the one I'm gonna play. And remember to listen to the Wolf when you're here. He knows what he's talking about. You're getting tired of getting yeeted off YouTube. YouTube, yeah. Man, we need a push. We need a push for thank you guys for being here on X and Rumble. I appreciate it. We need a push on YouTube, man, because YouTube. Oh, look, there's a $2 Rumble rant. Winning can't see this. Winning can't see this. I can see it now. But we need a push on YouTube, man. We need a push on YouTube. I don't even think a lot of people know that things we've updated the format here. We need to push out on YouTube a big subscriber push to help counteract their get one, they take one policy they have. You need the way that you beat that is you got to get bulk subscriber, bulk action on that. But the numbers are going up, the views are going up, and that's awesome. And I thank each and every one of you for being part of that and helping out in all the ways you do. We'll get there. We'll see how we do, man. We'll see how we do. All we can do is keep fighting and stay based, man. Stay based. Ain't taking no knees. Ain't going no drama. Ain't doing any of that bull. Right? We're gonna stay based and keep on winning. That's what we do. All right. So let's get to the next story here. That was kind of like the introduction and the kind of the communist side of things.
Continue to spread.
In that, they cut the budget, and to go further into that on down that line of thought, we're going to take the then reverse approach. We're going to start with that kind of like the financing part of it that hurt it, and then the mind virus that caused the corruption and inadequacy. Jacob Peets, what's up? Oh yeah, just don't be starting any fires outside. Yeah. But see, here in our side of the country, we can do it without burning the place down. Evidently, in California, when there are fires outside, people are just such idiots. I guess they're just too. I mean, some people, right? Not everybody. I don't want to. There's a lot of good people in California that are just victims of, victims of, again, more Marxism. Victims of bad leadership and historic corruption, and it's not their fault that they were born there. And hopefully they could find a way to get out of it, or we can help them change that state around and make it a damn good state, man. It'd be nice. Wouldn't it be nice if California was a base state? Look at all that beautiful land and weather and all the cool things that come out of it, man. Unfortunately, it's just been so corrupt and so toxic for so long by those doing wrong out there that the other people out there just have to suffer along with it. And that's unfortunate. But let's get into this next part here as we continue the California fire story. Mark?
The fires in LA continue to spread and obviously are still dominating the news. A problem, like all problems, that has been exacerbated exponentially by Democrat incompetence. The mayor of LA recently cut the fire department budget by over $17 million. This when most people in Southern California can't even get fire insurance for their homes. The
Blue Lantern, what's up?
Insurance companies just refuse to cover that hazard because the homes are so expensive in Southern California. When something like this happens, then they can go bankrupt. And so instead of trying to prevent this situation from happening and trying to save lives, save people property and their businesses and possessions, the mayor just decided to cut the fire department budget. And this is going to hang over.
Governor let's just cut it instead of like make it better. We're just going to cut the fire department budget. I mean, that's really what we're supposed to be spending our taxes on anyways. Like at the base is for services like the fire department and things like that save lives.
Nuisance's head when he runs for president in 2028, because now the entire country knows that he is completely incompetent and can't manage California. So why should we allow him to manage the entire country? Donald Trump told him to his face a few years ago. I think this was from 2018. What he needs to do in order to dramatically minimize these kinds of hazards from happening. But obviously,
watch this. And Trump is being super nice about this too, and being really nice, like a wise grandfather talking to his son, saying, you kind of want to do it this way because this is the way that works. And if you don't do this, then you're screwed.
His recommendations fell on deaf ears.
You got to take care of the floors. The floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem. And when it is, it's a very small problem.
Brainwashed.
They also have enough water, unlike Los Angeles, where most of the fire hydrants literally ran out because of the Democrat incompetence. And that's the one thing the liberal media doesn't want to talk about.
How does the fire hydrants run out of water? That's incompetence at the highest level. And watch this dude right here.
Especially when it comes to this. It's such a horrifying disaster. Here is Scott Jennings on CNN, who is their kind of token conservative guy who is allowed on the network and makes some very good points, trying to bring it up. The Democrats enrolling idiots, and was immediately shut down.
You might have recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have.
They were just rushing there, running through the door to jump all over that. Look at that. Got her hand up right here. Hold on, you guys see this? Look at this. Hand up right here. I got my hand up. No, 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 no. She got her hand up too. No, 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 no. They're all trained. They all trained, man. They're trained. That's training. That's programming. It's an immediate response. No, 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 no. We're not the bad guys here. We're not the bad guys here because we're discriminating against white guys. No, 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 no. No, not at all. No, this isn't real. You're making this up because you're a white guy, right? The reverse racism is real, man. It really is. But it's all based in cultural Marxism, critical race theory, derivative of critical theory, derivative of cultural Marxism. We know this stuff here, man. We've read the book. We've seen the evidence. We've done the history. We've done the work. We know that that's what's at the root of this stuff. But these people, they're just programmed robots. They're like robot, robot, robot. I'm a programmed robot who thinks they know something when they don't. This is called living in under the establishment narrative, right? These people are so brainwashed by this establishment narrative. They have no idea reality is on the outside of their mind. They have no idea. They're boxed into a fantasy world like Neo in the Matrix. They're plugged into the machine. They have no clue that that's what's going on with them. And that's sad. Like, I'd imagine that if they were based, they'd be pretty awesome, right? What do you say, Outpost Nerd? How you doing, man? How's it going? All right. They roasted him so bad over the force. Yeah, I'm right. And yet here he is getting proved right again. Listen to our president. He knows what he's talking about. Just like you've got to listen to the wolf when you're here because he knows what he's talking about too, right? Right, Wolfum? That's right. That's right. And make sure, hey, if you're all you guys are just coming in, make sure you guys get your zebra badges. Your zebra badges, you're gonna need them when you're here. And that just you can have the zebra stripes, something in your avatar that has zebra stripes on it in case a zebra alert breaks out. We did a drill earlier, and I'm sad to report that not a lot of people already. So we don't want anybody getting shot. So you make sure that you have you're prepared because at any time, if something weird happens, a zebra alert could go off, and I can't. Good soldiers follow orders, and Wolfram will just have to do what he has to do. That's hey man, Alpha Mod has its responsibilities. It does. All right, let's get back to this.
So we have
Look at that. Oh, hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. Everywhere. Look at this. They're all talking over each other, and there's some simpy little gimp boy in the corner, right, crying.
And in case you haven't heard, these
right? Yet the evidence of what that guy was saying to them is getting ready to mount up.
City Council in Los Angeles is very proud that recently they appointed the first female and lesbian double diversity as
oh wow! The only way I could have gotten better if she was like, I don't know, Muslim too or something. I don't know. How do you pile it on? Let's pile on all of it. On. She could, she should have been a color, right? She should have had some more color to her. That would have done it. That would have been the trifecta of awesomeness of diversity, the diversity trifecta, right?
Who then made it her top priority not to try to prevent disasters like this from happening, but to increase diversity in the department.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future.
To prevent disasters from happening, because California is known for its fires and insurance companies are pulling out so people can't even get insurance.
One that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300.
It's never enough. It's never enough. Well, hold on. It's never enough. It's never enough. They never stop. That's why it's never enough. They never stop. It's never enough. Not until every white man out there is out of work and out of job and in the grave. That's when we're going to be happy. Then what would happen if we just all said, okay, fine, we're going somewhere else? Not that we would, but I'm saying how soon do they find another thing to turn on? Who's going to be next? Who would be next? Who's next in the pecking order of let's go get them? I think they're all going to suddenly just join hands, start singing Kumbaya. Who goes first, the white woman or the straight people? The straight woman. Who goes first? If we get them all out of the way, every dude is dude of color and gay, right? They got that. We'll give it all to them. Like, what happens next? What happens in the Marxist utopia where, this is supposed to all be great? You know what it's going to do? It's going to let them eat each other up and destroy everything and then replace them with the freaking robots, right? Robots and AI, idiocracy on the way. It's just going to be a very diverse idiocracy. That's all. That's what it will be. Right? That's what it'll be. Let's get back to this story.
City firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking.
Oh, is that it? Is that all? Oh my goodness. Why don't really
ways to change that?
I'm sorry, but that's probably 115 too many. Here's what a major Los Angeles real estate developer and former mayoral candidate had to say about the situation.
Former LA mayoral candidate.
Talking Trash Truth says, I know one woman who's a firefighter. My cousin Peggy, she's a captain, but she worked her ass off to get there. And I still wasn't happy she became one. I think it's a man's job. I mean, it does require a lot of strength, man. It does require a lot of strength. So you better be working your ass. You better be working out every day and training every day if you're going to be a female firefighter, because you got to be able to throw somebody over your shoulder and get them out of a burning building and, not die while you're doing it. You got to be able to chop through stuff. You got to, I guess if your job is just to drive the truck, I mean, that's fine, or something that you could handle. But what happens when all you got is people that can drive the truck? Right. That's what we're talking about here.
Candidate and real estate developer Rick Caruso criticizing the city's response to the windstorm and fires. He says officials should have been more prepared.
You think?
The real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills.
Yeah.
Spread so quickly. And the second is
brush in the hills spread quickly. There you have it.
You got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going.
Incompetence.
So that's a failure, whether on DWP's
failure, people and property lost.
Or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here.
Yes, basic stuff that Donald Trump warned Gavin Newsom to his face about a few years ago. And again, back in October on the Joe Rogan podcast.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water
they route it into the ocean. They're like, oh yeah, protect the fish, route it into the ocean. Good idea. Beautiful.
I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. Your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires.
But hey, who cares if you don't have any water in your fire hydrants throughout your city? When you
don't need that.
DEI, Democrats enrolling idiots in the fire.
And that's the cultural Marxist part of it, right? So it's a combination of this toxic idea, which has to go. This is done. This is done. Like I said, I mean, I don't know how much longer we're supposed to tolerate. We're supposed to tolerate this toxic idea ruling over us when we should have nothing to do with it. It's time to reverse that like you wouldn't believe. Now, that has to be on everybody's mind, and it needs to be something we talk about again. Ever since like the they labeled it the big red scare and McCarthyism and blah blah blah, we haven't been allowed to talk about the real root cause issue, right? So they got that past us. We're just being no, we're going back. That shit was real. It really happened, and we should have done more to prevent it. But like J. Michael Waller pointed out in his book, Big Intel, the people who knew about it and that were serious about it and understood the danger of it aged out. And who replaced them? People that were trained in critical theory coming out of colleges. And that's why they picked their intelligence agency employees from, right? Or the next generation. They were already woke when they got there. So, of course, they're going to do the wrong thing, right? So we got to fix that as well. Yeah, there you go. Jacob Pete says it. McCarthy didn't go far enough. I agree. They had a plan. We listened to it. I'm telling you, that book, Big Intel by J. Michael Waller, is phenomenal. We're still working on getting him on the show. I'm committed to talking to him one day in one way, shape, or form. I'm really excited for him to see the work that I've been doing. And I want to congratulate him and talk to him more about what he's been doing and how we can, all of us can work with him and together to eradicate this virus that's taken over the world. And what he thinks about it, man. That's a go-to guy. Cat Ninja, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. So happy that you're here. Friendly crust to any wrenches that will drop relevant things at winning from me in chat, since I can't do it. I don't want to ever bother anyone. Yeah, just let me know, man. If you're are you in Discord? If you're in Discord, give Anti a link to Discord, and you can always DM me there with anything you want me to cover, anything you think I need to have. And if I don't see it and you gave it to me for the show particularly, just say something out there in the chat, and I'll go and take a look at it and see if I can reference it or not. Sometimes I'm set and I'm on a schedule, but sometimes I could do it. So, but always feel free. People send me stuff all the time. I'm happy when they do, and I appreciate their help, and I appreciate them wanting to be part of the solution. So thank you.
Fire department.
We are hosting our new employee orientation, and our focus is to teach our new employees for them to understand cultural competency.
Okay, guys, you're well trained. You're well trained. You're well read. You're knowledgeable people in this chat, right? This is not play. We know what we're doing around here, right? Take a look at what these firefighters in Los Angeles are learning. This is what they are being forced to go through. There, look. What do we see on the wall right there? Let me pull it. Let me get out of here and let you guys look at it. Get a good look at it. There you go. Cultural competence, the capacity to collaborate across boundaries of cultural differences. What does that have to do with fire? What does that have to do with saving people's lives when there's a fire? What does that have to do with fire prevention, preventing mass wildfires in a state that's known for them actually annually? Cultural competency? This is what they teach these poor guys. A lot of these people that are in this class right here, they wanted to be a firefighter their whole life. That they dreamed of it. Maybe it runs in their family, but they have had dreams and aspirations to become a firefighter ever since they were a little kid probably, and saw that big red fire truck coming running down the road. That used to be a big deal in our house, right? And they probably like, man, that's what I want to do. Look at those heroes. Look at those brave men that go in there and save lives and keep my house from burning down. I want to be like them. For a lot of kids, firefighters are their first heroes. They really are. I know firsthand. That was my son's first heroes. First heroes were the firefighters. He loved them. And boy, the day that all the fire trucks came down the street and parked and went to go look at a fire they had put out just a few houses down. Man, and every time those firefighters would see us and they'd see him, they'd honk the horn and wave. And, we went over there and met him, and he just thought it was the greatest thing ever. We put him on the back of the truck and took a picture. It was so cool. So cool. So yeah, here they go. Here's your big dream, guys. And here's your first day of class. What are you going to learn about? Cultural competency.
Identify implicit and unconscious bias and be aware of the importance of us having a diverse and inclusive workforce.
And look at her, brainwashed, subversive, right? She's so proud of herself. She thinks that, oh, look at me. I'm so proud. I'm going to go home. I'm so proud of myself, right? Brainwashed, subversive, brainwashing and subverting other people. It's a mind virus, and just like narcissism and anything else, is passed down, right? And here she is out there like she's some goddamn hero, right? Meanwhile, guess what, lady? Your state's burning down and you suck. Guess what? Your state is burning down and you suck. All right, there we go.
What about the importance of having water in the fire hydrants, lady?
I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
Look, the house is burning down behind them, and they're just standing there. No one's even trying to put it out. Yeah, I'm just standing here. observing these beautiful fires. We had the, and in California, we had the most beautiful wildfires in the whole world. They are so gorgeous. Can you just look at the reds, look at the oranges, look at the yellows? They all blend together. And yeah, the smoke's a little annoying, but man, look at how beautiful this is. Is all these homes burned down? It's like, what are you doing? Grab a goddamn hose. Get to work.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, it's
you think?
People are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids,
and there you are.
Lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down.
Yes, and you're largely responsible for that, sir. But hey, just stand in front of a burning building during a live shot on CNN and pretend like you're there to save people. And here's the mayor of Los Angeles refusing to answer questions from the media for several minutes in a row. I won't play the whole clip, you'll just get the gist of it. But this clip goes on for over 2.5 minutes.
Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
I won't answer you. I won't answer you. Look at you. Dude, you're fired. Resign. Seriously. Look at this woman. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Not Pikachu. Look at you. It's different.
Have you nothing to say today?
Not to you, Whitey.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Absolutely
Elon
not.
Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering?
Oh, take that. Take that, lady. Take that. You're utterly, Elon says you're utterly incompetent.
Considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with
Can't
this
you say?
disaster?
I know I suck. I know I suck.
No apology for them.
Here's comedian.
What is she like trapped behind a door? What's going on there? Now, people are like, oh, they're making all that up. Sky News was doing God's work, grilling these pitiful diversity hires. Exactly. And that's the cultural part. The cultural Marxism part is diversity bullshit. We all know where it came from. We all know what it's about. It's about destroying the country. It's about erasing our culture, right? It's about erasing Americanism. And we can't stop it. We got to stop it in a more aggressive way, and in terms of being, we're tolerant. We're not tolerant of that. You want us to be tolerant of everything else. We can do it. We can totally do that because you know what? We already were. We kind of already were. I mean, we're never going to tolerate groomers. We're never going to tolerate pedos. So forget that, right? We're never going to tolerate anybody that comes after children. Never. So forget that. Hang on one second. All right, we're not going to tolerate that, and we should put Marxists and Marxism in the same bucket we do those, because that's exactly what they do. It's a generational attack, right? They come after children, they come after their minds and their hearts and minds. It's about hearts and minds. It's ideological subversion, and if we ever wanted to stop shit like this from happening, we have to stop that shit at the root, right? Root cause issues require root cause solutions, not band-aids, not, we'll just reelect somebody. We have to actually culturally cleanse that shit from here and the world. It needs to go, and maybe some other, it'll morph into some other kind of bullshit. We have to be able to say, well, that's just Marxism with a new name, right? We have to stay on top of it. If we can keep that shit under control, right? We can have a much better world to live in. And until we do, we're going to struggle. Mark my words on that, because that's the cycle we've been through over and over again now. And if we don't recognize that, we're not going to see a real change. And no matter who is the president or what kind of minor victories we have, if we don't fix this on a generational level, it's not going to make any good. They'll just come back. It's mental illness on display. All right. Are you lagging, Cat Ninja? I'm sorry. We'll put some, give you some cheetah juice there, man. Help you catch up. Winning, don't be so sure. MP Jess Phillips covered up the grooming gangs to get elected. Oh, yeah, well, they're not sure about what. We have to get after them too. Yeah, we're gonna do the Tommy Robinson documentary this Sunday. All right. We were supposed to do it last Sunday, but I was just cooked. So this Sunday, I mean, unless of course, you know, a playoff game gets in the way because my team's in the playoffs. So I don't know what the schedule is yet, but you know, we're pretty sure we're gonna be doing it. Probably gonna be doing that show like, you know, we'll have at least one weekend a month off. Just because we burned through so many movies and so many documentaries. Maybe we can find something else to do on Sundays too, so that we have kind of a little bit of mixing it up. I've been thinking about, you know, optimizations to the show channel, more variety, more things for you guys, something fun to do on Sundays. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll figure it out. We're talking about it and we're gonna figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna do a Tommy Robinson documentary soon, and we got a movie planned for you somehow, some way. It'll happen. So, anyways, we haven't done weird science yet. We might do that. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, believe me. Well, we got to get our own house straight first. You know that, Jacob. You know that better than anybody. Once we get our house straight, we can start to spread the love in the right way. But we got to do that first. We got to do it first, right? Right. Okay, let's get back to it. Now, look at this. You guys know who Adam Carolla is, right? Well, here he's got a story about when he was young and he wanted to be a firefighter, right? And this is what happened to him.
Carolla testifying in front of Congress back in 2017 about
2000.
how he tried
This is in 2017, by the way.
to be a firefighter many years ago in LA.
2017, but I want you to understand the timeline here as he talks, right? Because Adam Carolla, he's not young anymore, right? So look, pay attention to the timeline. He's in 2017 telling the story, but this story is about when he was much younger. But listen to the story. And you're like, whoa, I thought all this stuff is kind of new. No, it's been going on for a long time, especially in places like California, right? Where communists have ruled, Marxists have ruled for decades.
Was turned down because there were just too many white people in the department.
Geez, I want to talk about my white privilege so badly. I graduated North Hollywood High with a 1.7 GPA. I could not find a job. I walked to a fire station in North Hollywood. I was 19. I was living in the garage of my family home. My mom was on welfare and food
19.
stamps. And I said, can I get a job as a fireman? And they said, no, because you're not Black, Hispanic, or a woman. We'll see in about 7 years. And
7
I went
years.
to a construction site and dug ditches and picked up garbage for the next 7 years. I got a letter.
Dude, I mean, talk about working your way up. You know, I like the way he opened this up by saying, I want to talk about my white privilege, right? Low GPA, probably just was, you know, a Gen Xer goofing off, not thinking that, not, you know, being taught to not take the world seriously, because that's what they did to the Gen Xers. And just, you know, have fun and blow it off. Then trying to get a job on welfare, living in his parents' garage at 19, right, out of high school, tries to get a job at the fire department. And back then, they told him to wait 7 years because they already had enough white people. They had too many. They had to start changing it up. I mean, that's how long it's been going on, guys. And stories like this highlight it. It's just come to a fever pitch at this point. But this just been carrying on for a long time.
In the mail sent to my father's house saying, your time has come to do the written exam for the LA Fire Department. I took it and I was standing in line and I had a young woman of color standing behind me in line. And I said, just out of curiosity, when did you?
What do you mean a young woman of color? You know, the whole thing. I want to just have to say something. The whole thing of this of color shit, right? It's just trying to make everybody gang up on everybody who's not of color, according to them. I think white's a color. How do we let them get away with just making white not a color? Isn't it in the crayon box? I'm pretty sure it is. I've always known white to be a color. So what does this mean of color? It means not white. We live in a majority country. Like if you were living in Asia and any place in Asia, right? Would you say, you know, would you be surprised that more Asians were in positions of leadership, ownership, and were more regularly highlighted in entertainment and media and advertisements and everything else because they're the majority there, right? How about in Africa? How about in Ghana? How about in Egypt? Arabs? What do you mean? There's not enough white people here. You're not diverse enough. Where in the world are they saying that they aren't diverse enough because there's not enough white people there? We're the only country in the world where this bullshit is going on, and maybe in other white countries like Western, like European. This is an attack on. I mean, it's a veiled attack, but it certainly is an attack. And we don't want to go back to that kind of mentality. But why are they joyfully taking part in it? Why is any race joyfully taking part in this bullshit? That's the thing we got to solve to fix it. We got to be like, you guys realize what you're doing? I mean, I guess a lot of them do. They're just happy about it because they've been told they've been the oppressed their whole lives. Really? Once you go to a place in the world where your skin color is the majority, right? And see how that goes for you. Maybe you like it better. Maybe that's the way you want it to be. You can be there. You can do it. See how your opportunity works out then. See, it's easier to climb over a tolerant and generous majority like we have here in the United States and other places. We want to help people, right? Where we ended the slave trade, where we ended slavery, where we fought and died and bled and lost people for decades and decades and decades for it, where we suffered from slavery longer than anybody else, 5,000 years, barbarian slave trade, 5,000 years, right? Yet we were the ones that ended it for others. Everybody forgets that. But yet here we are in the modern age in this country where we're the majority and we're being treated like we're scum for being the majority in a country when there's the majorities of people that, everywhere around the world. Go to Mexico. Well, who's the majority there? Mexicans, right? It's complete mind control. It's complete mind control. And, you have to ask yourself, how is this possible? How is it possible? And it's possible because of the thing I'm talking about all night long, the theme here, cultural Marxism. It's a mind virus. It's a disease. And we've tolerated it way too long. Part of our objectives here and every day, and I hope it's in everybody eventually gets it, is we have to erase it. It has to be gone. Karl Marx is not credible. Not credible. Dude isn't credible. How is that guy credible? He never did a damn thing in his life but write a goddamn book. How is he credible? How is he taking over the world from the grave? It's ridiculous. Pothead Kenny, what's up? How you doing, my friend? It's ridiculous. We're talking about getting this place right is what we're talking about. All right, let's let Adam finish his story here. But here we go. 7 years he waited to take the firefighter exam because of Marxism. There you go.
You sign up to become a fireman because I did it, or a person 7 years ago. And she said, Wednesday. That is.
So Wednesday. So the lady behind him, it just signed up on Wednesday. And now she was there to take the exam. He had to go pick up trash and work on a construction site for 7 years, waiting to take the exam. Isn't that a great story? Isn't that fair? Is that fair?
It's an example of my white privilege.
So there was literally a 7-year waiting list because there were just too many white men who were trying to become firefighters in LA.
But meanwhile, okay, I got this right here. Meanwhile, the place is burning down and it's not managed correctly, and they obviously don't have enough people to help deal with this fire.
Thankfully, Joe Biden has less than 2 weeks left to continue to embarrass us as a nation. Here he is at a press conference yesterday in California with Governor Newsom.
Hold on. I got that story later. What's this? I got that story later. I'm going to do that one myself. Let's see what this last thing is.
I will do my best to try to bring some levity to the situation. I hate covering tragedy news. I would much rather just mock
me too.
politics and try to have a good time with the craziness that we're experiencing in the media. And so thankfully, this guy stumbled across a live feed on Fox 11 in LA.
Why is there a fire happening right now?
There are multiple fires that are taking place.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the news though. You're supposed to know.
Well, I don't know how it started. We don't know how it started. There, you know, winds.
All the gay people in LA.
Okay,
there we go.
okay.
We got the,
You know, he may be onto something. There's an old story in the Bible about some twin cities called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Did
that
somebody mention that the other night
many
here?
people have forgotten all about. And don't forget about getting.
All right. There we go. So anyways, so Marx was mostly a slacker, though he mostly supported by, yeah, he was. And he had an indentured servant, right, that worked for him her whole life. And when he died, he left her nothing. A great guy. Great guy. Great guy. Hold on. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have skipped that part. I had a different thing about Biden. Let's bring this back up. You got to see this. This guy. This guy. Let's do this right here.
Us as a nation. Here he is at a press conference yesterday in California with Governor Newsom, pretending to know what it is that's happening. And then he says this.
But the good news is I'm a great grandfather as of today. Granddaughter.
No.
Baby girl, baby boy.
Shut up. We don't care. We don't care. All right. We don't care. Who cares? Bragging about that. People have lost their homes, right? People are displaced. You got a shitty fucking state because of a shitty fucking government and governor staying next to you, right? Who let property and people get hurt, right? For what? I'm a grandfather today. So what? So what? You don't matter. You don't matter. I'm trying to get, you don't matter. So what? You got another kid's hair you can sniff on and you can grope and get in the shower with? Is that what you're talking about? That infuriates me. I'm not gonna appear and brag about myself. Yeah, you corrupt mummy. You took all that money in Ukraine. Your kids are freaking nightmares, and you're bragging about you having I'm a great grandfather today, right? That you picked this time to do it, and we're all, oh yes, oh my god, it's so special, man, dude. Oh, nice. I like that one. That was a good one. And you get something very special for that. Yes, you do. Keeping this avatar for a bit, at least till the 20th. There you go. Yeah, just in case of a zebra alert, you can be prepared too. But being prepared is what it's all about. That way you won't accidentally get caught in the crossfire when those things go down, right? Dude, Thomas, dude, what's up? He seriously reminds me of Grandpa at dinner table in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, I think that character should. I think he based his character on that character, really. God, dude, that's so annoying. They go, you want to hear something about me? We're talking about something else. I'm talking about other people. No, I'm gonna make it about myself. Dude, people like that. People like that. Hey, cool gamer. What's up, my friend? How you doing? We're glad you're back. Don't be sorry. We're glad you're back. All right, enough of this mummy. Get him off the screen. It's a disgrace. I'm so happy that you lost. I'm so happy you're gone. I'm so happy your party turned on you. And I hope that you somehow, some way, find yourself in a jail cell for the remaining years of your life. I know that. I know I'm asking a lot here. What do you say? Pothead Kenny says, see my comment. Weird thing over area of fires. See off grid with Doug and Stacy. What comment you got up here? What is up here? When real, check out off grid with Doug and Stacy explains the cloud from the area 51 over the fire. Uh-oh. Cloud from area 51 over the fire. Man, we gotta be careful, man, because like, you know, we might go into a zebra alert. So we gotta be really careful talking about UFO stuff because the government, you know, watch it, and if they go into a zebra alert, you know what a zebra alert is, right? Zebra alert, you know, you got like seconds to get a zebra badge on or a zebra avatar before the military comes in and starts shooting people who don't have it because, you know, national security. And, you know, then we got to call our enemies from our home base and ask them what the hell's going on. That's the way it works. And Dr. Stephen Greer told us that. He taught us. And we'll be covering him next Wednesday if you like UFO stuff. We'll be waiting for that disclosure he promised. And we'll be looking at another one of his interviews maybe or something like that. We'll be doing something. It's going to be a fun-filled night full of anticipation of the new days, the new disclosure coming that, you know, we'll see if it happens, right? We're going to keep a watch on it. Yeah, I don't put much credit in things like that, man. You know, it's wintertime. There's a lot of homeless people, and they don't take care of their forest floor, and it's ripe for wildfires. They have them every year, right? And it doesn't matter what kind of coincidences are going on. The bottom line is that they aren't doing the good. They're not doing the good work. They're not taking care of their state. They're not taking care of their people. And then the rabbit hole goes much deeper because they're removing funding from things that where it should be, like fire departments, right? They're taking it and put it in Marxist institutions and projects and groups and whatnot. You know, to teach diversity to people who don't need to have diversity taught to them. Yeah, all those guys, man. Those guys, man. Art Bell. All those guys. I'm sure he would. But you know, those guys got off. The conspiratainment is fun and enjoyable. But if you didn't watch, go watch my 2-part series. It's part 3 and part 4 of Drone Apocalypse 2024. You might not have seen that, where I went through the Stephen Greer interview with David Spade and Dana Carvey. I actually have a playlist now. I actually have a playlist for it. It's a podcast. So it's called It's called Degrifting Dr. Stephen Greer Forever. I do these Degrifting Forever streams about topics that people haven't done their research on or actually listened to carefully. And man, we went through that interview line by line, and boy, did that guy's story change from beginning to end, and it elaborated and all. That's where we got the zebra alert from. And according to him, he was there when a zebra alert, cold zebra alert went down. Now I got military all over this chat right here, and not one of them have ever heard of a zebra alert. But you know, it's the doctor, emergency room doctor Stephen Greer, who it's just been a doctor. That's all he's ever done. He's been a doctor, right? He started a new age group that can supposedly talk to aliens. That was busted. That was found out to be a fraud. Where he was firing flares off the coast, charging people tons of money to talk to aliens, and they never actually talked to aliens. They just saw a fireworks show off the coast, and he got busted for that. But nobody talks about that. But yeah, his story changed quite a bit. You know, including him getting offered $2 billion back in the 90s when he only started this new age group a couple years earlier, right? To not go through with it. This is before all the other new bullshit about the drones and the alien technology and the deep underground bases and all this other shit he's come up with, man. And people, like, he's been on shows for years selling that disclosure bullshit to people. But I would say go listen to it. And if you could listen to those two streams, right? It's worth it because it's comedy gold. But if you listen to those and you still think Stephen Greer has an ounce of credibility after that, you know, come back and tell me. All right. See everything and believe 25%, right? Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's the whole thing. That's the reason why I know about this stuff. I gave everything a chance. I give it all a chance. I was talking about that last night on Unveiling Reality. I was like, I go into everything with open mind. I'm like, okay, come on. Here's your chance to convince me. I'll listen to you. Like, you want people to listen to you. I'll listen to you. I'll give you the view. I'll give you the click. Right. And now it's up to you to state your case. And that's the way it works. So I've listened to that guy for years. That's why I know so much about Disclosure Project and the people that were in it. I've listened to all lectures, hours and hours and hours of that stuff, man. Hours of that stuff. And shoot, Art Bell and who's the other guy? I haven't listened to these guys in so long that I've forgotten their names. George Norrie. George Norrie. I used to love listening to that show. I mean, it's a great show to turn on at night and listen to and listen to fascinating stories that aren't real, right? And he's like, "Well, I totally believe in this stuff." And it's like his favorite guy is like, what's that dude's name? The guy who thinks that the United States is going to have an earthquake or something and split up the middle. I just think he's wonderful. I think he's really got it. I remember him saying that about that dude. He's an author. Oh man. What was his name? I'll think of it in a minute. You guys will probably beat me to it. I bet you guys will. But anyways, let's move on with the story here. I didn't listen to this one, so let me see. This is more about the mayor who said nothing. I think let's I love getting the Black conservative patriots take on things. Greg Foreman is freaking phenomenal, one of my favorite creators out there. And I love at least to hear what he thinks about things. So let's give this a little bit of time and then we'll move on to the next thing.
That federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes.
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little
it's
fish,
good to sleep too.
which
It is.
in other areas.
I know. I Project Kenny. I do, and I enjoy a good story, man. They talk about Bigfoot. They talk about all kinds of fun stuff. It's very, very. It reminds me of like, if you grew up before television and you turn the radio on at night to hear stuff. I remember, I remember back when I was a kid listening to radio stations late at night. They'd get a little bit more story time, but yeah, you just let your mind wander. Let your mind wander. It's a fun time, but some people really start to believe it.
By the way, it's called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They have no water.
The smelt. That's ironic, isn't it? A fish named Smelt is now the source of them not having water to put out wildfires. So things are smelting everywhere, right? They're smelting everywhere.
In the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side. And he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water, and yet they have.
Ridiculous.
The water comes from the
phase. We're in the public safety phase.
I hate to even ask this question, but the president chose to attack you.
This clown. What you got, Greg?
The Los Angeles wildfires is only getting wilder and wilder and wilder. And the reason why is because it reveals.
That's an Anna Kasparian, man. She's coming around. I don't know if she'll ever make it all the way. Probably like a Stephen A. Smith. Probably won't make it all the way. But she's coming around. She's coming around.
Was the utter incompetence of Democrats and how they run their states and their cities.
Exactly.
Okay? I think that is at the point now where
you got Maxine Warner, you got Nancy Pelosi, you got Gavin Newsom lining their pockets, man. Lining their pockets.
We should really start saying that Democrats can't govern. Okay, I think it's very clear. The last 4 years of Biden and Kamala Harris, terrible governance. Okay, look at what has happened on the world stage. Look at what has happened domestically, border wide open, crime out of control in all of these liberal cities that are run by Democrats. The economy is in shambles, inflation out of control. Democrats can't govern, okay? And when confronted about their lack of being able to govern, when tasked with personal responsibility and accountability for their failures, what you're about to see, guys, is typically how it goes, okay? Because Mayor Karen Bass, who's a progressive Democrat, was confronted as she flew back from Ghana, okay, her trip to Africa to see the Ghana president be inaugurated. Okay, she was in the homeland, right? She was flying back and she was confronted at the airport about what's going on in LA after she basically defunded the fire department. And what you're about to see, guys, is symbolic of our current Democrat leadership. Take a look.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department?
What do you guys think this lady's thinking right here? We saw this earlier, but what do you think? God bless us all, and God will have his day with them.
By millions of dollars, Madam Mayor.
Why do you think she's? I'm not talking to you, but what do you think she's thinking during all this? Like, we never saw what happened after this. With the door open finally, right?
Anna, while this was unfolding back home.
Oh, she's at an airport. She's trying to get on a plane. Oh, look at you corrupt individuals. Look how corrupt you are.
Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
They're like, no. Where are you going, lady?
1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe. Can you take this down?
Even her assistant isn't allowed to go.
David.
Hey, why is your mayor so lame, lady? She gets let out through the emergency exit. Passport control, please. Right? Yeah, no, totally, man. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, Mayor Brainless during the presser today tried to claim that there was no water pressure in the fire hydrants because of the high winds. Yeah, everybody knows the high winds pressurize the fire hydrants, right? We all know that, right? She is disgusting, Kenny. She is. She is.
As you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting all sorts of challenges. They're talking about a water shortage. There are reports of fire hydrant failures. They've been unable to use firefighting aircraft for much of the day due to the smoke that is billowing ominously from the hills where the wildfires are raging. And I suppose despite that political storm, this is, of course, at its heart, a human story, because we've now 80,000 people evacuated. Tens of thousands of others are on standby to be evacuated. 2 lives have been lost in the Eaton fire, which is what's causing the consequence behind us. The city's iconic landscape almost shrouded completely by
honestly,
the smoke.
I would think a lot more
taking
people had lost
one
their
step at
lives.
a time, hoping
So that's a
at some
miracle.
stage the wind's going to change direction or to die down, and that they're going to be able to get this fire under control.
Wow. Wow.
What are you doing?
Wow.
Wow.
Again, that is symbolic of Democrat leadership. That is symbolic of the last 4 years, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so serious. This is what you get when you elect Democrats, okay? No accountability whatsoever. I mean, at the very least, she could have came out with the canned response of
Something.
Hey, we're trying to mobilize all the resources that we can. We're working with the fire department, law enforcement, everybody that
All
we
right.
can in order to help out the people who,
Anything new?
unfortunately,
What's we got?
are being caught up in this wildfire, right? I mean, she could have came up with something, anything.
She got nothing.
I mean, she could have gave the while the city burns to the ground. Look, diversity, right? And look, it gets better. It gets even better, right? It gets even better. They don't have enough firefighters. Well, why don't they have enough firefighters? Maybe it's because they terminated firefighters due to the fact that they refused to take the COVID vaccine.
113 LA City firefighters have been suspended without pay for defying the city's vaccine mandate. In November, firefighters who had not submitted their vaccination status or requested an exemption were informed they would face suspension and termination. The policy requires city employees to be vaccinated by December 18th. The fire department says firefighters who continue to resist the mandate will be entered into the process of termination.
You go on any date with
This
a
is supposed to
man?
be the competent governance that the liberal media keeps telling us about from the Democrats.
I resist your mandate.
The same people who basically systemically discriminated against white men when it comes to becoming firefighters. Yeah, they were probably firing mostly white men who refused to take the COVID vax. And now all of a sudden they don't have enough firefighters to help fight wildfires. Amazing how that works. Again, how is the woke diversity experiment working out for Los Angeles? They had a choice between what I would call a competent moderate Democrat in Rick Caruso. They had a choice between him and Karen Bass, who's a far left progressive. And they chose a far left progressive, probably because she's a black woman, right? We want to see a black woman.
Me too, Kenny.
In office.
Me too.
And when it comes time for the black woman to answer a damn question, she can't, as her city burned. And the people that she's responsible for, they literally can't breathe.
And of course, the air quality is also a big concern today across Southern California.
And it's not going to get much better because of this wildfire smoke, which will travel for miles. If you have some sort of respiratory illness, you need to be aware to take care of yourself.
Even if you don't live near the fires or see smoke, the Santa Ana winds alone can be damaging to your lungs. Circle of Health Denise Tador explains.
It can affect people and cause that increased shortness of breath, that increased chest tightness.
Yeah, what toxic smoke can do that, really? Wow. I never knew toxic smoke could do that to people. Yeah, so that sucks. Let's see what kind of excuses they're making over here.
For a press conference, she sounded like a damn fool.
Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this.
If you need closed captioning, it's right there at the bottom of the screen. You just click on it. You don't need to have some weirdo flashing their hands around at every press conference because deaf people can read. Don't discriminate. Don't you dare discriminate against our deaf citizens, our deaf brother and sisters. They can read. You trying to say deaf people aren't smart enough to read?
Can be found at URL.
But hey, the mainstream media doesn't seem to be concerned about the incompetence of the Democrats. No. They're more concerned about Trump rightfully bringing attention to the incompetence of the Democrats.
He was at a press conference last night talking about the gratitude he has from President Biden, still the current president, who has offered federal assistance as much as he needs.
The federal assistance, as long as you let me get up there and talk about being a great grandfather.
And the question is, on the campaign trail, I think it was in October of 2024, Donald Trump was saying that if he got reelected, that he could withhold federal funds from California. Obviously, he has a sort of a feud with Gavin Newsom, a feud with almost every Democrat governor and senator and Democrat in general. And I think the question going forward is, could that happen? Is this something he's going to actually do when he assumes office? Because he does kind of see the federal government and the budget and the monies as his own, as to dole out as he wishes to his friends. And so I think that's the real question going forward. But it is sort of sad that this is the same president we're getting again, that there are no lessons learned. There's no sense that Californians are Americans, right? That they are struggling in these areas. 2 people have lost their lives. These fires haven't been contained at all. It looks like they're probably going to get worse before they get better. And that he doesn't have any sort of empathy.
Where's all the tech being rolling out? Where's all the robotic technology and drone technology to help with these fires?
Then they could ever use.
Okay, we did this part. All right, we're gonna move on from the fires, guys. We did it. I think we proved a point here. I think it's been well documented, and I think it's just something we got to point out to other people so help them realize it as well. Is that Marxism doesn't work, right? Not in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't deserve a pass. There's no good points to it. There's no good stories about it. It's nothing but a piece of shit on a stick, and it shouldn't exist. It really is behind it. If you just do root cause analysis, you go to the root of things, right? You'll find it there. Like a dead rat in the corner. You'll find it there, creating a stink anywhere that there's a problem. Like it really is one of the biggest root cause issues we have. And we got to imagine if it was gone, like how much better things would get, right? How much better they would get. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. So how can I get pissed off more by Joe Biden tonight? A guy who's just days away from being put out to the glue factory can still manage to find ways to infuriate us on the way out the door. This one, I don't know if you guys have heard about this one. This one is kind of like
President Biden transferring 11 Gitmo Bay.
Stop. All right, there you go. This one's kind of lower on the in the news cycle. So some of you guys might not have seen this, but let's get even angry at Joe Biden and the dumb things that he, as a puppet, is responsible for doing, even though, like they're going to point out in this piece right here, he's probably not the one who actually made his decision, but they get to put him out there as the decoy, right? And so we get to get mad at him instead of the people that are probably actually doing this. But he's dumb enough to go along with it. So you know what? If you sign up to be a punching bag, you're a punching bag. Here we go.
President Biden transferring 11 Gitmo Bay detainees with suspected al-Qaeda ties to Oman, including 2 alleged former bodyguards for UBL. All of the men have been held since shortly after the 9/11 attacks.
Real quick, look at all these guys. Hold on. Look at these guys. Real quick. These guys have been held in Gitmo after the 9/11 attack. Look at all their names. All right? You see them? They're being transferred out of a place where they can do no harm to us, and they're being taken to a place where they will again engage in the jihad or their own type of mental illness that they're experiencing against us, and they will do harm to others. You think that these guys are ready to do some harm to others after being locked up since 9/11? You think they might be ready to do some harm to others? Huh? You think they might be ready to hurt some kids, hurt some people? Look at them. Look at them. And wait till you hear about the rest of the story here.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Donald Arias. His brother was killed in the attack, and he's been to Gitmo 3 times to witness the proceedings. Almost all of them stopped short. He joins us now. Colonel, your feeling about this move?
I can't imagine any normal American being okay with this.
Right on,
these
Kenny.
are dangerous people.
Good to see you too,
These
buddy.
11 detainees, they couldn't try them, but they were too dangerous to release. So now we're going to let them loose on the world. We're going to get them resettled. We're going to get them back on track with their lives. What, so they can return to the battlefield and come back to haunt us? We haven't heard the last of these guys. I'm certain they'll be back.
What did you notice when you were down there? Did you see repentant people realize the error of their ways when you were in the courtroom?
Absolutely not. I was there in 2009 when, and it was a competency hearing for Ramzi bin al-Shibh, when KSM stood up in the courtroom and said, I did it. I said I did it. We did it for jihad, and I do it again. To me, I'm not a lawyer, but that's a courtroom confession. That wasn't good enough for anybody then. So they were not repentant, not in the least. I mean, these guys are steeped in this ideology and have been festering down there in Gitmo. As far as I'm concerned, they can fester there forever.
Remember, Obama swapped them out. They were reformed. They were going to stay in the neighboring nation. Now they have their key officials in the new Taliban 2 Afghanistan story. I mean, so they're basically laughing in our face. They come back as heroes once they're out.
You're absolutely right. And again,
I mean, guys, is it just me, or is that is this a good cause for like special forces? Like we don't need to know about this, but I'd like to think that our special forces can kind of take care of this and under the radar, like just fix this little problem for us. We know that they shouldn't be let out. We know they have plans to pick right back up where they left off, probably full steam ahead. I would like to think that our special forces might be able to take care of this little problem for us, since we have so much incompetence and corruption in the executive. Be nice.
11 families have been screwed so many times. We're just used to it at this point. It's just another day we're going to have to roll with, you know.
We're gonna
And
get
the
there,
emotional
Kenny.
toll,
We're gonna get
Brian,
there. We'll get
people
there
don't
together.
understand. You know, you lose a loved one and there is zero justice for them. Zero. I mean, if my brother were mugged on the streets of New York, this thing would have been long gone. Well, maybe not with Alvin Bragg, but this thing would have been long adjudicated. And if you look back at, like, you know, my brother was killed in 2001 along with thousands of others. My mother died in 2015, never seeing justice for her son. My father passed in 2019, never seeing justice. My sister, who accompanied me to Gitmo 3 times, died in 2021 during the pandemic. And I'm getting ready to turn 68 here. I'm wondering if I'm going to live long enough to see this. And I don't think I will. I think these guys are just, whoever's calling the shots, and we all know it's not Biden, it's whoever his handlers are, these leftist activists that are pulling the strings of this government, and these legal soldiers of fortune that came out of leftist NGOs that were suing the government are now, you know, full-time employees at the DOJ. This is where all this crap comes from. And, you know, we objects of pity, we 9/11 family members are just not smart enough to understand why they're doing it.
No, you're not smart enough. You're smart enough to understand this is pure politics and someone trying to outdo perhaps President Obama, who said he wasn't going to do that, wasn't able to do this at Gitmo. So 11 detainees go to Oman, but the worst could be yet to come. According to the Wall Street Journal, this Mohammed Rahim, a bodyguard of bin Laden, who as late as 2016, the last time we heard of him, has reaffirmed his radical ways, and the al-Qaeda doctrine could be swapped for 3 Americans that we left behind in Kabul, in Afghanistan. I feel for the families. Michael McCall was briefed on this, says it's a bad deal. Your thoughts about this? Bin Laden's bodyguard.
It's crazy. It's craziness. All we're doing is encouraging more kidnapping and more thugs out there to commit terrorism. You know, when they know they can get away with it, spend a few years at Gitmo, come home a hero, why not do it again? These guys don't mind blowing themselves up. You think they're going to mind spending a few years in the clink?
Solid
I don't think so. I mean, the whole thing's outrageous. These people are war criminals. They're illegal enemy combatants in violations of the law of war, and they should have been tried in a wartime tribunal that we set up at Gitmo. And if you look back and say, what do we got in history? Look at these Nazi war crimes that we did in Nuremberg. Nuremberg was, you know, over in 10 months. These guys were tried, adjudicated, done. 10 months. Next. Why are we still mucking around with these guys?
Right.
Well,
this
I'm
is
sorry
stupidest
about
thing.
all the losses in your family as you wait for justice, but I know you're
on the way out the door. On the way out the door. Why? On the way out the door. There you go. Egregious. Egregious. Cat lives matter. Egregious. Like, I'm on the way out the door. He pardons a bunch of really awful people, people who hurt children. He lets terrorists, 9/11 terrorists, out of Gitmo. Right? He goes out to where there's a natural disaster tragedy, right? And talks about himself. Dude, I just hope it, you know, Lord. He's a monster. And so are all the people in his administration. And we have to make sure that not just they fail, but what they stand for fails, right? What they stand for fails, and it's never allowed to prosper again in our country in our lifetimes, and in our kids' lifetimes. Right? We can never let it happen again. We have to remember moments like these and use it as fuel or our fire, you know, and make sure it never happens again, you know. And I hope that I hate it when tragedy, it has to be a learning experience for people, but I hope California gets it now. I hope they get it. They need to. It's I don't want to see this happen to them again. Right? And it shouldn't have to happen. We're living, this is 2024. And we're as backwards as we've ever been right now.
Your brother would be proud that you're still fighting for him. Lieutenant Colonel Donald Arias, thanks so much.
All right. Yep.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
And we'll try.
There you have that. All right. So I think we got all that out of our system now. Let's go to Greenland. Anti-Jack. Anti-Jack. You still here, buddy? I'm sorry. I meant to go to this earlier. I got on a roll there. I had to get out of that. And I was like, well, you know what? We just had that one thing with Biden. Let's go ahead and get it all out of our system so we can learn. This will be interesting. I haven't seen this yet. So we can learn why Greenland should be our 51st state. Now, my question is this. If Greenland becomes our 51st state, right? We have to make new flags. Like if we're gonna put a new state in, let's do. Hey, there you go. Right on. I'm happy you're here. I'm glad you stuck around. If we're gonna add a bunch of new states, let's just do it all together at one time. Can we just do it all once? So that way we don't have to keep remaking flags and adding stars to it. And I think how does it work out? It's like it makes a nice box right now. You know, I don't want like weird numbers up there, right? So do we have to add 5 or 10? How I gotta look at the flag here. I gotta do some American flag slash. How's it look? Okay, there we go. Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we need to add 5 more at once. We need to add 5 more at once. That's what we need to do. So if we're gonna add Greenland, let's add Greenland, Canada, Puerto Rico. I don't know what else. What else we got out there? Anybody else want to join? Want to become a state? Maybe we could like divide Canada into 2, right? You can call it East Canada and West Canada. But oh, you know what we can do? We can divide it into 4. North Canada, nobody goes there. South Canada, East Canada, and West Canada. And then Greenland. Now, well, maybe we should leave it open. Guam should Guam get in? Who else should get in? We're gonna add 5 states. What state what are we gonna add? We need to we actually need to let me get this on board so you know where we're going next. We actually need to add 5. So I don't know. Let's make them good. Let's make them good ones. But we'll add 5 at once. We can't just add 1 and then say, okay, that's it. Because then you have this 1 star sitting out to the side of it. Now, but if you add Canada, that's a pretty big state. That's like the whole country size. Maybe it gets an extra big star. Then the other states would be jealous. That would not be equality, would it? But you know what? Honestly, there's how many provinces in Canada? Let's just make 4 provinces in Canada, not call it Canada anymore. You know, we'll call it, Montreal, Quebec. I don't know. Just we'll combine a lot of their shit together. They don't need all that stuff anyways. United States of Earth. Yeah. How about Europe? We'll take all of Europe. Why not, man? They can't handle it. They're messing it up. You can't handle this responsibility. You can't handle being world champion. You can't handle this responsibility. Being world champion, that's important business, man. So I'll tell you, I've been there. All right, here we go. Let's talk about Greenland. Perhaps our 51st state. I don't know. Charlie Kirk and others went to Greenland and learned why we need to make it our 51st state. Well, let's listen.
I want to give you in this audience an exclusive update of what I was up to this last 24 hours. Donald Trump Jr., a very good friend of mine, gave me a call and said, hey, do you want to come to Greenland?
Let's go.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
So we boarded Trump Force 1 at 2 a.m. on January the 7th. I even hid this from...
Dad let him take the plane. Can I take the plane, Dad?
Most of my staff. Almost no one had any idea this was not to be leaked, not to be publicized. At 2 a.m., we got on Trump Force 1 and flew from Palm Beach to Nuuk, Greenland. 6-hour flight, 3-hour time change. Let's get all the videos, guys, up there and all the pictures, please. Landed around 11 a.m. local time as the sun was rising. The sunrise in Greenland this time of year is at 11 a.m.
Nice.
Get off the plane. And by the way, we are greeted by hundreds of people that are just curious. We then go to the top of a very
wait, we got visitors?
sacred site in Greenland, the place where the first missionary actually ever came to Greenland from Europe in 1745. Yeah, that's it right there. That's right as the sun is rising. And all of a sudden, we started to run into people with MAGA hats all throughout Nuuk, Greenland. Now, mind you, the population of Greenland is 50,000 people. In Nuuk, it's something like 30,000 people, maybe. And all of a sudden, people are lining the streets asking Donald Trump Jr. for pictures, and they have MAGA hats. And there's people, by the way, there's a greeting group at the airport of hundreds of people. What was striking is how many people in Nuuk, Greenland watched the Charlie Kirk show, followed us on TikTok. They said, oh, I follow you on TikTok. Oh, I follow you on social media. There's one of the people right there with the MAGA hat who was working at the airport and greeted us with a MAGA hat on right as the Trump Force One was coming in. One of the ushers at the airport. We then went to a restaurant and we were literally so consumed by people, so overwhelmed. We had to go get a private room, and then we brought some of the local folks in. There's Donald Trump Jr. just with some of the workers there, signing MAGA hats, taking questions, talking to people. And we were there for 3 hours on the ground, and we learned a lot.
Oh, man, you guys should have stayed the night, hung out. What? 3 hours? Only 3 hours? Why? Why only 3 hours, man? Why only 3 hours? You guys should have stayed the night, gone to the club, hung out, bought dinner for everybody. You know, tried some of the culture out. I would have wanted to stay there at least a day. Can we stay at least a day? Dad needs the plane back. Yeah, that's what it is. Dad needs the plane back.
Number one, it is so hard to do it justice. It's very, very hard to articulate. It's hard to show the pictures of just how beautiful Greenland is. I've been to Alaska. I've been to all parts of Canada. It is objectively one of the most pristine, overwhelming physical environments that I have ever seen. It's untouched. It's as raw nature as you can ever find, that you can ever come in contact with. It's like you are here and there is the wild. There's polar bears that walk around Nuuk. Polar bears. Very spiritual in many ways, incredibly so. That's number one. Number two, talking to the locals and getting to know them. They can't stand their current Danish masters. They believe that Denmark, who is currently controlling of Greenland and of Nuuk, which is the largest city in Greenland, they are being mistreated. They do not like the status quo, and they want a change. They say that when they go to Copenhagen, which of course is the capital of Denmark.
Hang on one second. Hey guys, can you do me a favor out there, wherever you are? Can you hit the thumbs up button? Just make sure you've done that. Make sure that you've hit that thumbs up wherever you are, whether you're over there on Awesome Rumble, Awesome X, or Awesome YouTube. Please make sure you hit thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. Lets me know that you're there, and it also pushes it out in the algorithm on Rumble. And I think we're running. Let's see where we at. We got. Thank you so much to whoever disliked the video on the YouTube side. I appreciate that. We're only up to 14 likes right now. And it's probably just my fault for not making a big enough deal out of it, because you got to make a big deal out of it in order for it to happen. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And you were 13, Cat Ninja. Thank you. And thank you for remembering. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it helps out a lot, guys. It really does. This crowd's usually really good about it, so I forget to ask. But just listen to the wolf. He knows what he's talking about. All right, that's just how I asked. That's how we do it. All right, let's get back to this awesome story. This is pretty fascinating. Greenland. Bring on Greenland. Let's go.
They are told by local Danes, go back to your home of Nuuk. You're not welcome here. They want
Come
to
on,
be part
Danes.
of a country that respects them, that gives them human rights. Right now, they said, quote, we feel like prisoners in our own land, that we are being controlled by these Danish masters.
What's going on with the Danes? I had no idea. I had no idea what's going on with these Danes, man. What are you doing, Danes?
Who treat us terribly. And number 3, which was the other takeaway, the people of Greenland are some of the sweetest. They are some of the kindest and warmest people. Incredibly authentic. Now, you might be asking, but what is the reason that everyone is talking about Greenland? Greenland is not just a fun issue to debate. There are very serious geopolitical reasons as to why the United States of America should assume control or purchase or whatever process the president ends up doing, back control of Greenland.
Let's just take it. Let's just take it. We'll take, you give us $1, we'll take it. All right. Well, let's say, what are the Danes going to do? Throw Danish at us? Go for it. Cheese, please.
Number 1, Greenland is the northernmost land in the Western Hemisphere and has critical military importance. The shortest route from America to Russia is actually across the North Pole. That's why we have actually a military base in northern Greenland. Thule Space Force Base, whose purpose is to monitor potential and possible missile launches. Greenland is the world's largest island. There are tons of resources buried under its ice cap. We actually
That's one reason to own it right there, is to have the largest island. Let's go.
Don't even know how wealthy this country is. As a side note, a young boy comes up. He says, Charlie. I said, oh, hey, how are you? He says, I follow you on TikTok. I need to show you something. He shows me his phone. He says, in my village, 3 hours from here.
Kenny. Thank you so much, Kenny. That would be great. Let's see. Kenny says, when and all here in April, I will be going to Chicago from Kentucky on a bike for charity, setting up. Now I will sponsor you as I'm sponsoring N3 Yepers. All right, cool. That'd be great, man. That'd be great. Thank you so much. And be careful, man. I don't want anything to happen to you going up into Chicago. Man, but thank you for that. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Even Danes have issues with their government being socialistic. There you go. See, behind it all, it's always the Marxist screwing everything up. So I'm just about attacking root cause issues, putting in root cause solutions. The root cause solution is to get rid of it all. No more tolerance for it. You want to fight? Let's fight. Let's go. Let's get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go. You know, I mean, I'm not all about book burning, but I could stand to see the Communist Manifesto burned from history. And has that thing ever done any good for anybody? No. All it's done is getting people killed and brainwashing people. Again, I don't hate rattlesnakes. I'm just not going to tolerate them in my house or in my yard or anywhere I can hurt anybody close to me. You know, but I'm sure not going to put them in my house. All right. So Greenland looks like an awesome place to bring on in. I'm all for it, man. I love it. It'd be great to have Greenland as a state. Let's change some stuff up, man. Make things exciting. And if it pisses off the communist, socialist, Marxist, mind control victims and tyrants, then I'm all for it.
When we just kind of go out into the countryside, we find rubies the size of baseballs.
Let's go. Hey, that's right there. We got like free airfare to Greenland. Hey, Shelly, you want to go ruby hunting in Greenland? Let's go. I'll go looking for some damn baseball rubies. Huh?
I said, what? He said, we have rubies the size of baseballs in my village. Now, mind you, they're not as valuable as you might think because they need to be cut a certain way and they lose value, but they're very valuable. And he says, the Danes don't let us mine our rubies, our gold, our lithium, or our gas. He said, it's time for a rebellion against the Danes. The younger people of Nook, the younger people of Greenland, they want to be rich. And oh my goodness, do they have wealth in Greenland. Incomprehensible amounts of wealth. We are talking that Greenland could be the new Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Russia, Permian Basin, Marcellus Shale, and the Balkan all mixed into one. America should want those resources for our country, and Greenland should want them for their country. We'd be far more willing and able to develop them than Denmark and these socialist Greta Thunberg environmentalists from Copenhagen. In the long run, they will be developed by someone. There are three options of who will control Greenland: America, Russia, or China. America, Russia, or China. You're trying to tell me the Danish military is going to be able to fend off the Chinese Communist Party?
Good luck. We're all counting on
Greenland is so strategic. This is the third and final point. That during World War II, the United States occupied it just to keep Germans from seizing it. After the war, we briefly proposed buying it back, but instead we gave it back. We never should have given it back. We should have insisted on a sale and assumed control of it. Acquiring Greenland would give America a sense of growing vitality. There would be a new American territory for ambitious Americans to go and develop. And I could tell you in my short time there, but it was very thorough, there is so much opportunity. You are talking about places where resorts can be developed.
That's pretty cool. Look at that. You go, yeah, that's what I was saying. Skiing, go skiing.
Entrepreneurs can deepen their roots.
Dude, I mean, look, I'll talk about this afterwards, but I got ideas.
Fishing, the wildlife, the hunting, the natural experience. It is a perfect fit to the United States. And people say, oh, Charlie, we should, America shouldn't expand. Well, Alaska is part of the United States. We purchased Alaska, and that was a good purchase for America. Greenland, for the 21st century, would not just be good, it is essential. It is integral.
It is green-tastic.
Strategic location, defense against threats, access to key resources, preventing China's expansion, and economic and military advantage.
Go.
It was an honor to be able to see Greenland firsthand and right up close. I never thought I would do it. And I think the table is set for President Trump to make
Greenland great again.
The art of the deal happen.
All right.
The art of the possible.
I like mine better.
And we might welcome Greenland as part of our American family.
Let's go. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. You guys want Greenland? If you want Greenland, let me get the Greenland in the chat. Oh man. Okay, we're getting ready to get on to the we're getting around to the inauguration. And we're getting around to possible things that could be going on with that. And we're gonna box that up like I like to do. Put several stories together to make a point about it. If you haven't noticed, that's kind of what I do. I kind of do it naturally. I'm like ding 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 ding, and they all kind of like work together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Where are we at tonight? Okay. I don't need that one. All right. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and in little bits and pieces from each, right? But we'll make the story make sense. So you guys expect Shittigram, what's up? You want a Greenland? I want Greenland. Let's go. I'd go visit during the summertime, lay down on the ice. There you go. Go lay down on that ice. It's nice. Nice ice. Yeah, anything to take things away from communists. Let's go. I'm all about it, man. I'm just done with it. Done with it. The Danish people need to get their act together. Where's Dane anyways? Where's Dane anyways? What's the Danish? Denmark. These Denmark Danish. What's going on, dude? What's going on with you guys, man? Leo Marachi from Frog League Studio. He's pretty cool. He's a cool Dane. He turns pop songs into metal. Does a damn good job at it. Frog League. I like that band. He could turn shitty songs into good songs. That's something that's added value. What's up with this government trying to? How did a small place like Denmark get a hold of Greenland anyways? No. They want to come with us. They're allowed to. It's a free world. When we're in charge, it's a free world. You let the other guys win. Those globalists, those global Marxists win. It won't be a free world. But anyways, now talking about Greenland, man, I could see going up there and places like that that just could be developed and turned into a tourist location. I like to go up there and put together the Vikings. Yes, that's right. And man, what a cold place to live. Why do they always pick the cold places to live? Andre Knight, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'd like to go there and set up some future tech resort, right? So where you go there and you could maybe something like a mix of that place in Australia that has animals outside your windows. So you can have polar bears, like a polar bear reserve there. They can have rooms all the way around it. So the polar bears you can see the polar bears live and watch the little polar bears run around and stuff. They're well taken care of, and maybe some of that with you get some of these flying car stuff, right? That Jetson, right? You can fly across the ice. That'd be cool. And then maybe one of those sea breachers, right? I'm gonna do sea breachers on cool things coming up. Sea breachers are awesome. I got on the sea breachers a long time ago, and I always thought, man, what I like to do is find a nice tropical location, right? And get some sea breachers and rent them out, right? That'd be my retirement. I would rent out sea breachers to people who want to go sea breaching. Sea breachers are fun, man. I'm going to show you guys on cool things. It's a segment I do on Winning Saturday Night this week. We're going to feature sea breachers and other sea stuff. I got a new sea taxi and all this other stuff. We're gonna feature new tech, but in the ocean, in the sea. Sea breachers are cool. I've always wanted one because you can literally go. You could literally go out there and they're tough, and you can get right next to the big old whatever and swim right with them. You could swim next to a great white shark in that thing, man. Come on, try and catch me, Jaws. See, you feel pretty safe because you're in the car, right? That'd be crazy. And even if they try to bite it, it wouldn't do it. Winning Reality chat check. Do you specifically see me in chat? Someone is deleting me? No way. No one's deleting you here. Let me see. Yeah, we don't have. I got that turned on. I got moderation turned on. So hold on. Okay, there you go. I got moderate activity turned on. So it could be. I don't know what you're typing, but it could be YouTube. But all my mods here, they don't do that. They never have. I've never had any problem. Specifically me. Let me see. Did you get a link to Discord yet? If you wanted to send me something. So what do you think about the Greenland story now that we're talking? I see you right there. I specifically see you. Everybody sees you. So it might be some keywords or something. I don't know what you're saying, but we're not deleting you. Try refreshing, maybe. But I tell you what, my people don't do that. I got and I got moderation turned on. So if somebody tries to do that, we will now know who it is. So don't you worry about that. We got your back. But what did you think about that story? Is that what you wanted me to talk about or cover? And was that the one? Anything else you want to add to that? I like it, man. Like I said, I mean, you have to do one thing to get another, right? So, I mean, opening up a future tech resort is whether it be sea breaching or flying cars or a bunch of combinations of a bunch of things. Something I'd love to do later in life. It would be fun. It would be fun. Point Fire. Hello from Canada. Sorry, we're not for sale. Trudeau has enabled us to be the 51st state of Punjab. Punjab. Where's that? In India? Oh man, we got all kinds of people coming in. Anna Zabezi. Anna Zabzi. What happened? Dedrone amigo. Why they fly them over foreign and domestic cities, but not dispense fires, retardant burning down the house? Well, that's very, very colorful post you got over there on Rumble. Why they fly them over foreign and domestic cities? And not, I don't know. Why not? Exactly. California's got enough money. They should be doing something. And hello, Canada. You don't want to be our 52nd state? Or 53rd, maybe? 54th? Hey, man, that putting those many emojis out takes work, man. So, Punjabi. What's Punjabi? Is that India? It sounds Indian to me. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know where Punjabi is. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, thank you guys for coming over on Rumble. Make sure you hit the follow button for me. Hit the thumbs up for me, man. Join the crowd. Join the base crowd that's part of the solution. That's winning reality. We are, every day is a fight for reality. We need you with us. We need you with us, emojis and all. So make sure that you join the cause, man. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. All right. So Greenland's awesome. Future Tech Resort, awesome. New followers on Rumble would be awesome. You guys, just all you have to do is hit follow and ring the bell too. I do great content. I think you guys will like it. Scroll down on my front page. I have awesome playlists. Full of 2 years of content. Have I been on 2 years? Have I been doing Rumble for 2 years? I know last year I set out to like make Rumble great, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna feature a lot of Rumble stuff. I'm gonna do Rumble, put Rumble on a lot of thumbnails, and focus on building the Rumble channel up. And we're almost to 600. I was hoping we'd get over 1,000 this year, but we're gonna get to 1,025. We're gonna get to 1,000, but we need people like you. We need people like you guys. Make it happen. Anna Sabzi. And the Point Fire, thank you for being here on YouTube. Nice to meet you. We have a lot of great Canadian folks that come here and hang out with us. Canada is our friend here. Happy New Year's. Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of great Canadians that come here and hang out. We love Canada. Scott Free Freedom, #1 Canadian streamer to be. It was with us for New Year's, and we've done a shows together. I love that guy. He's awesome. Great dude. And we got Suzanne around here. Who else is a Canadian connection? Yeah. I see links in general chat on Discord. You do? Well, let me see. General Discord. Hey, Cat Ninja, what's up? Welcome to Discord with us. Who's that? There's a W. Okay. Oh, there's Auntie. Gotcha. All right, there you go. Oh, there's the dude. There's this dude. Let's see what this one says. Here's a way for president to get Greenland. Okay, let's watch this. Hey, perfect. Thank you for this. 3 minutes, concise. Every time I see this guy, I think of the dude from the Lost Boys. Every time I see this guy, I think of the dude from the Lost Boys. Not that guy. This guy coming up. Steve Forbes, but he reminds me of the villain, the big bad in Lost Boys for some reason. So here's a way, evidently, for Trump to get Greenland. I can think of some ways, but let's see what old Steve Forbes has to say.
President Trump to get Greenland. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times.
Speed.
President-elect Trump's efforts to buy Greenland from Denmark went nowhere in his first term and are no more likely to succeed in his second. Countries buying territory from other nations has been out of style for over a century. The last time we did it was with the Virgin Islands, which we purchased from Denmark in 1917. But here's how we can pull it off now and save money as well. Buying Greenland directly would cost tens of billions of dollars. The strategy is simple. Greenland declares its independence from Denmark. In fact, the current Prime Minister of Greenland has stated his desire to do just that. A referendum could come as soon as this April. The next step is the big one. Have Greenland then apply for statehood. Voila, the deed is done. There is precedent here. Texas broke away from Mexico in 1836, becoming a separate nation. Several years later, it became our 28th state. The advantages for everyone are clear. It's true, Denmark would be left feeling like a sports team, losing a big player to free agency, since it would no longer be getting a huge bundle of cash from Uncle Sam. But Copenhagen would no longer be liable for its annual subsidy of around $600 million a year to this humongous island of 56,000 people. Nor would Denmark be on the hook for the 1.5.
Thanks for being here, Kenny. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
$5 billion it recently promised Greenland to beef up its defenses there. Trump gets the satisfaction of achieving the biggest territorial expansion in U.S. history, bigger even than the Louisiana Purchase or the acquisition of Alaska from Russia in 1867. Greenland's location makes it critical for our security, which is why China has already become the biggest foreign investor in Greenland, a move that it began 20 years ago. Making Greenland a state would enable us to solidify our security, just as we do with Alaska. Democrats would love granting statehood to Greenland. The electorate there is left-wing, meaning 2 more Senate seats for the Democrats, as well as an additional seat in the House of Representatives.
I don't like that part. That's not a feature. What is that? How's that a feature? I don't like that. What do you mean? No, we're gonna change. We're gonna make them great again. If Trump gets them out of this pickle, they need to come on over to the good guy team,
where the balance between the parties is as tight as ever. Democrats would have a guarantee of 3 more electoral votes, which could be critical in a tight presidential election.
Is he a Democrat? Like, what does he think? Why does he think this is a good thing? Or is he just using this as a lure? Is he luring? Am I missing the strategy here? Is this a lure?
Greenlanders should quickly come to see the virtues of such a move. In addition to rock-solid security, this group of 56,000 people would have outsized political influence. Benefits would flow accordingly. Certainly, the new state.
What is this guy talking about, man? Now he's trying to turn them onto welfare. You can get on the welfare state. You can take all our tax money and spend it. It'll be great. You can be dependent on us. I mean, he started out really good, and now he's like he's going hard left on us for some reason.
Would do very well from massive mineral investment from the rest of the U.S. Ecotourism would boom. Unemployment.
Yeah, ecotourism or whatever that. What's the ecotourism? It's because you're going there to see the ecosystem. Okay. I mean, was he talking about? Well, he wasn't trying to get them on the welfare, was he? You trying to get them on the welfare? Is that what you're trying to do? Stop. Maybe I took that the wrong way. But it sounded like to me, he was like, yeah, you could benefit from all of our giveaways. We had giveaways. You can be part of the Publishers Clearinghouse. We'll send you shit in the mail.
Which is high, would fall. Is the population too small for statehood? There is precedent for admitting a big landmass with a tiny population as a state. Nevada, which is the 7th largest state geographically, was admitted to the Union in 1864 with a population of all of 6,000 people.
I see no problem there. You know what we could do, though? If that population's a problem, we can put our robot factories there, and then we'll count the robots as people. There you go. So that's pretty cool. I didn't like some of the stuff he said, but I'm with them on getting Greenland on board. I want another state. I want 5 more states, because that way the flag won't look all weird. So we'll have 55 states. How about that? We can't screw our flag up. Betsy Ross, she worked hard on that thing. So we can't screw our flag up. And nobody wants to see that happen. I don't think it's a very good idea. And anyways, so now, yeah, I know, but it's still out there, Shelly. It's still out there. The H-1B visa scam is similar to what the Canadian government did. Indians entering America increased 73% through H-1B visas. Indians from India's. Yeah. All right. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We need to talk about what's coming up here. And, well, this is what we'll be talking about over the course of the next week. Many people, not just us, many people we'll get out there and talk about it too. But what's going to happen on January 20th? Will the inauguration go off as planned? Will we have to do something special, some kind of special inauguration? That's been tossed around. People are starting to put pieces together that make it seem like there's going to be some kind of problems on January 20th. Like people are planning things that there's a quiet before a storm, if you will. People are saying that. People talk. I hear things. All right. So let's start putting these pieces together and see if we're really going to run into something or not. Or is it just a bunch of smoke and mirrors to get all people all excited, you know? What's up? You having problems? Any problems here? If someone's lurking and messing with you, dude, let me check it out. I will take that wrench from them so damn fast their head will spin. We don't do that stealthy bullshit. But I mean, honestly, I have people that are. Do you have any enemies out there? Andy Jack, do you have any rivalries I need to be aware of? I got this. You can turn the switch on. This is moderation activity. That if anybody does anything, it shows me on the screen who does it, like in my administrator view. So I don't see anything happening. I tell you what. Let's do this. Here we go. What the heck? Freaking cats, man. Did you guys hear that? All right, hold on a second. I gotta hold on. Oh, great. Now the mic's like jacked. Check. Hold on a second. I'm lucky they didn't knock the whole damn plug out of the wall. All right. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I had to reboot my equalizer dealie here because my mic got jacked, and so don't worry about that if that happens, man. I got it under control. Because I can tell by looking at my mic here, it turns the white around the dial turns pink instead of red. Okay, thank you. All right. And so many of my Listerines, proud to serve it. Right on. Yeah, it wouldn't meet it. It was just the whole thing. My cats like had a spat underneath my desk, and that kind of like sometimes if I hit this mute button too quickly, I gotta stop using the mute and start that one, right? All right, let's get on to this thing. Thank you for bearing with me. You guys are the best. Let me pull this up. Let's get going here, and I can let. Oh yeah. Oh, I had to do something real quick. Let me just get this straight. Set up first. All right. So, anti-ad jack. Right here, brother. Oops. God bless, man. The clicks tonight are just killing me. Rumble link. And I'd love to have you as a follower on Rumble as well. There's my Rumble link. Okay. Go over there and type what you're trying to type. and that way, if there's ever a problem here on YouTube for whatever you're trying to say, right? And I don't have, nothing's blocked here. It's just like, whatever you're trying to say, you can always go to Rumble and type it there, and I see it the same. All right. So just to let you know, that works too. All right. All right. Problem solved. We solve problems here. That's what we try to do. All right. We'll bring Timmy back in here for a minute. But I want to talk about this. Woke leftists arm up in response to Trump. Far left calls for blocking inauguration blocking Trump inauguration on the 19th. So this is the first part of what we're going to look into tonight right here. So let's take a look at this, and we're not going to listen to all of it, just some of it. But there you go.
Regular people are buying guns. I really don't care, because law-abiding citizens don't do anything with their guns. They go to sporting events. Maybe they go trap and skeet shooting. Maybe they defend themselves in their home. Criminals buying guns on the street is pretty worrying. And it's not because of the guns. It's because they're trying to obfuscate what they're doing, and then they, use those guns for crimes. But I'll tell you this. When I hear that leftists are arming up, well, then I'm deeply concerned. Because as anybody with a brain knows, the left is substantially more violent than the right. I can hear all the liberals screeching into the wind. No, Tim. As Luke Beasley stated, the studies show the right is more violent. Well, the problem with their logic, as I tried to explain to Luke on the show, is that the way those universities and he define left and right is the left is us and everyone else is right. So let's try and break this down in a meaningful way.
Okay. And I'm going to help him along the way here, because Tim does leave out things that are important. Like, he doesn't recognize the fact that there's a Marxist left-right paradigm, right? And that's something you have to really get into it to understand. That's why you have these fringe groups like Patriot Front and like the socialist, queer Marxist, right? That are on opposite ends of the spectrum, but are both Marxists and at the core. And they're not part of the Democrat Party or the Republican Party. So they don't really fit into the left-right paradigm of, or to the, basically, me, the real paradigm is establishment, anti-establishment. That's the real thing. But there's also the political sides of what we do here, and as far as elections go, and that's Democrat and Republican, right? So that's all the election paradigm, right? At one time, people wanted us to believe that that was actually a real thing, but that's when the neocons were in control of the right, and there was no real choice, only the illusion of choice. That was called the false left-right paradigm. Donald Trump smashed that. Ron Paul called it out, brought it to everyone's attention who didn't get it already, right? He made it a big deal. He brought the term neocons and rhinos to the forefront and made sure that people knew that those were not real Republicans. And he showed you what a real Republican was by his own example. And then Donald Trump followed that up with the rest of the tools needed to kick the neocon rhinos out. And after a long-term struggle, we were finally getting there. However, what is missed often, right, is that there is a Marxist left-right paradigm that happens. And so you see that between like Leninists and Hitlerian or, Nazi, right? But they're not part of the right, and they're not part of the left. They're part of the Marxist right and the Marxist left. And they often get, because people don't have the sophistication, they get mixed in with us. They get mixed in with them. Like many of the queer Marxists that are out there, the free Palestine people, they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. They didn't vote in our elections. They don't believe in our system. They want our system to crumble. So why would they vote and participate in it? They don't feel like they're represented by the left, right? But they are on the left. So that's the thing that people miss. That's the thing that Tim doesn't know yet, right? Or he doesn't. If he does know it, he doesn't add it to what he does for a living. But that's the thing he doesn't know yet. So he still makes the same mistake as he's correcting other people. He still makes the same mistake. But if he really dug into it, if he took a little bit of time and realized that the Patriot Front, far right, Nazi-like-ish people, right, didn't vote for Trump. They're not on the Trump team, right? And that the free Palestine, queer Marxist socialists didn't vote for Kamala Harris. They're not on the left team. They're not on the Democrat team, right? They're not on the establishment team. Now, by doing nothing, they enabled the establishment. So like when you do nothing and there's a corrupt establishment, it means that you're okay with it, right? I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to participate, right? Well, you just start saying that you're okay with being ruled over by a corrupt government, right? You're not willing to fight it, is what you're saying. That's when you don't vote. That's what you're saying when there's a corrupt establishment in charge. When there's a good system in charge and you don't vote, you know, then you're saying, well, things are good, you know. But that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a corrupt establishment. It's very obvious to anybody with a brain, and it still has their freedom of thought left, right? We know that. So, but these people check out because they're Marxists. They want they want different things, right? They want this system to crumble, all right? And they will do whatever it takes to disrupt it and to bring it down, including falsely associating, maybe sometimes even. However, that's what's going to be missed here. So let me just go ahead and lay that out, the disclaimer out first, and go.
When liberals, run-of-the-mill liberals, start buying guns, citing political reasons, I get kind of worried. Not too worried, you know, you're allowed to have guns. When their leftist cohorts, who they rally and organize with, are buying guns, I'm getting a bit more worried because we've seen what happened in the Chaz Chop. So when you have a story like this one, woke rival to NRA soars in popularity as panicked progressives arm up ahead of Trump inauguration, I'm like, oh, geez.
That's
because the reality is this. What is the left and what is the right? When the left...
Okay, so we're going to let him talk. But, I mean, the headline itself, progressives arm up. What across the nation, panicked progressives are arming up. What does that mean? What's a panicked progressive? Oh, okay. Socialist Rifle Association. Okay. Let's let them talk.
And these liberals say the right, substantially more violent. They're lumping in a Dave Smith anti-war libertarian with a neo-Nazi fascist authoritarian. How does that make sense? These guys have completely different worldviews. First of all, Dave Smith,
Marxist left-right paradigm. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Libertarian, anti-war, anti-intervention, and Jewish, has nothing in common with a neo-Nazi authoritarian fascist who wants a total totalitarian state.
They get
but they're both right-wing. And that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I've just pointed out, right? That's what I've been telling this crowd, my crowd, people listen to me about. I've informed them about this a long time ago, that they have to take into account the other ideology at work, right? What we've been talking about all night long, you know, you got to take that into account. And most people don't. They just lump it in with the side. They figure, oh, well, everybody's voting one side or another.
By all means, if you want to say that white supremacists are violent or whatever, I'll be like, sure, show me the data and fine, right? That's fine. But when they try and claim that like a middle-aged plumber who voted for Trump is in the same camp as a neo-Nazi, then I'm like, yeah, you're being silly. But of course, the response from them is, well, you can't lump all liberals and left together. And I'm like,
that's true. It's true. But you can lump, what you can do is you can lump everybody who enables the establishment and everybody who resists it together, right? You can do that. So, but I would say that someone that is Patriot Front, fascist right, is enabling the establishment, not the anti-establishment. See what I'm saying? So you could take all these people that they think they hate, right, and realize you're all on the same team. They don't want to hear that, though. They don't want to hear that.
My dude, you guys are protesting together. See, that's the difference. Sometimes you will see instances where people on the right of various different backgrounds are marching together or something, but almost never, because the right doesn't protest.
Yeah.
And certainly when you see white nationalists, neo-Nazis or otherwise, they're usually out by themselves. In fact, famously at a rally in, I think it was Portland, some guy showed up to a Patriot, you know, I think it might have been Patriot Prayer or something like that. Some guy showed up shouting racial slurs. They kicked him out. Let me tell you the difference and why I say the left is as a lump. You can categorize them as one group because they have something called the diversity of tactics. And this means that if you're a liberal who wants Bernie Sanders and believes in nonviolence, you are instructed by the protest organizers to, quote, respect the diversity of tactics. Quite literally, that means don't condemn far left violence. I am not exaggerating. And of course, then you'll look to the ADL and they will claim that Anti-establishment individuals are right-wing. White supremacists are right-wing. Black supremacists are left-wing. And then I'm like, wait,
This is like left and right wings, but they're not of what? What if you got two different birds there, man? This is what I'm saying. There is only one real paradigm. And it's either you're with the establishment or you're against it. This is the thought process. I went down this road a long time ago. That's why I say it the way I do. I've already figured this out. It's where your energy goes, right? It's where your results end up. It's what you enable. That's the real paradigm. That's the real deal. That's what's going to matter in the end, right? It doesn't matter if you are white, far right, a Nazi-based Patriot Front, supremacy, whatever, dude, right? Your energy is going to enable the establishment because the anti-establishment resists what you're about. Like, our interests don't align with yours. Doesn't matter that you're on the right end of the Marxist paradigm. And this is what gets missed because so many people miss this. It's really just right, but it's right in front of our faces. It's been there the whole time. And that's what, when you realize this, a lot of confusion lifts. It really does. Like a lot of confusion about like, well, that doesn't make sense. And why is that way? And, and it also a lot of light shines too. Like you realize, oh yeah, those people that are disrupting campus and taking over places and wearing scarves, and they're wearing from rainbows to scarves to whatever they can do to disrupt society. They're always playing out the oppressed oppressor bullshit. Why are the queers for Palestine? Why are they, representing Palestine when Palestinians don't like, gays, right? You don't understand what that is, right? But the deeper dive on that is that it's an oppressed oppressor. Israel represents capitalism. Palestine represents, those oppressed by capitalism. So they're for that. They don't care whether the Palestinians like them or not. And they're not for our country. So just because they're out there taking a leftist position and using Marxist ideology does not mean that they're voting for the Democratic Party. Same with the Patriot Front kind of guys, right? Just because they take a nationalistic kind of stance, right? Is similar in ways to what Americanism is, right? They doesn't mean that they're voting for Trump. In fact, none of them did. So they say he doesn't go far enough, and that what they're far is too far. But what we don't want from them is their Marxist ideology, which is their authoritarian top-down ideology, their supremacist ideology that comes from the right side of Marxism. Right? We're not about that. Their divide and conquer is no different from the left's divide and conquer. We don't want any of it. That's what that doesn't get talked about enough. It's not, we're not there yet for that conversation to have happened. And so we're trying to get there. But even Tim's going to struggle with it a little bit here. But I'm going to help him out because I'm a good friend.
Hold on. What? They really don't have a good way to define what left and right is. All they're doing is saying we're an institution that is aligned with the left. So anybody who disagrees with us is all one category, and therefore there's more violence on the right. Yeah, you see how the lie works. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We know that the far left wants to stop Donald Trump from taking power. They're planning large protests.
Just say the establishment and they're useful idiots. See how you did that? See how that works? It's the establishment and they're useful idiots. Because that's what it is. Like when it's all about the root here, man. It's all about the root. That's what it is. Skip all the bullshit. Skip all the bullshit. Right? It's at the root of it. Well, who wins in the end? Who's the favor in the end? The establishment. Who are the useful idiots? Who are they enabling? The establishment. See how easy that is? You see how easy that is?
Protests. Newsweek reported this story. Critics of President-elect Donald Trump have taken to the streets of D.C. to urge Congress to block him from taking power. Well, of course, he was certified, but they're actually going on to say that on the 19th, they will rally and stop Donald Trump from actually taking power.
It sounds like an insurrection to me. Maybe they should be thrown in jail and have the keys lost on them. Go ahead, show up. Show your faces. Well, show up. We'll pull the mask down for you.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Trump is certified. He's president-elect. It's going to happen. But that doesn't mean they're not going to try. The Daily Mail reports, across the nation, panicked progressives are arming up ahead of Trump's inauguration as they fear escalating political rhetoric and targeted legislation coming their way. The NRA's woke rival, the Socialist Rifle Association, has seen a surge in new members in Philadelphia in the final weeks of 2024, leading the Delaware Valley chapter to add more gun safety classes due to the sudden demand. Now, I'm going to pause right here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Everybody should have guns.
Is it 11 already? What? Oh, no. Oh, no. Did I go? I'm sorry I started late. I didn't realize I was going to go this long.
Hey, buddy, you tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't keep your eyes open?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been nodding off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
If you want to go to sleep, you go ahead, go to sleep.
All right. Good night, Wolfram. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. All right. Take care, brother. All right. Yeah. I have been keeping these to about 2:30, but we're on a roll tonight. But because Pennsylvania City has also seen an influx of queer-focused Facebook groups. That's Queer Marxist. That's the Socialist Rifle Association. So this is the Marxist left, right here. This isn't, and they say progressive, so they're getting close. But do they draw a distinction between that and the Democrat Party enough to make people realize what it is? There he goes. He's off to night land. Night. Yeah, right. Well, they'll misuse them. They'll get thrown in jail forever, and they won't have. Hopefully, they won't have their little useful idiots or their corrupted leadership to help them out. Now, one thing we have to do ahead of this, man, is end the ACLU. That's right. ACLU got to go. This shit was founded to support people just like this right here, right? And to make sure and to enable them to do destructive destabilization and crisis type work, right? That's what they were founded to do. And again, like Marxism, like we've been talking about all night long, the continued tolerance and enablement of this stuff, right? Groups like the ACLU got to go. They got to go. They have no place here. And all they're doing is enabling what we need to get rid of. So you got to, I'm sorry, guys. It is a war. It is a war. Maybe people don't want to understand that because they learned that words being bang bang in school. But it's a real war. Ideological battles are real wars. And if you don't think that hearts and minds are part of the bigger picture, or that hot wars don't come from cold wars, you just haven't gotten it yet. And I know my crowd gets it, but I'm looking at you, Tim, and you're looking at me. I'm looking back, right? And you don't get it yet. Armed gays don't get bashed. Oh, who's bashing gays these days? It's more like gays doing the bashing. Like, they get in your way. These groups, these activist groups that are hiding behind masks and rainbows and umbrellas and all that stuff, and scarves. They're hiding themselves. They're hiding behind that so they can act like idiots. And then when you do something about it, they cry like babies and say, "Look at you! Look what you do to me!" Right? That's the thing. It's like the subversive wars, ideological wars. People use. They do fight with masks. They do fight with umbrellas. They do fight with subversive methods because they are subversive individuals and they believe that it's all righteous, and it won't stop until people with the brain disease are gone, or we wean out that brain disease generationally. That's like I say it all the time. I know to my crowd, I'm preaching to them stuff that I think I've proven to them very, very soundly over time, and I think that's why they come here to know this, right? And to be part of the people who know this truth, the real true nature of reality as we face it, right? But yeah, so I what are we seeing? We're putting together a puzzle here. We're putting together pieces to start to understand what we may encounter on the 20th. And armed Marxist revolution, revolt. I think that only right now it's going to destroy them. And so I'm kind of for it. I'm like, yeah, please start it. Start some shit. People will get hurt, but more people will get hurt later on if their numbers were to grow. So, and this is an inevitable clash that's going to happen because we have let this toxic idea of Marxism fester for generations. And ideological subversion has been prominent for generations, and the people in charge of the corrupt establishment, we have not addressed it the right way. We've now come into the place where we can actually do it. In the past, we had three television stations, we had national news, a couple national newspapers that everybody read, and then you had a bunch of politicians talking, claiming to be one thing and then doing another. And people get the news too late, right? And then you got the social pressures. Well, now things have come to such a head because of the information age that we can actually start to address these problems. So don't feel bad about the past. Everything happens for reasons. We learn from it. We move on. We get better. And all these trials and tribulations we're going through is going to lead us to a better place. And hopefully we're the ones that come out on top, right? Because then we get that better place. Otherwise, we get the dystopia for all and the utopia for the worst amongst us. They get the utopia. They get the technology. They get the life extension. They get all the great stuff, right? They get the safety, security. They get all the resources. We get nothing. We get dystopia. We get control, right? That's why winning our reality from these people is so important. And every day is a fight for it. And learning stuff like this and understanding it better is part of it. And I thank you guys for being here and being part of it, learning with me, walking to the truth with me, and liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the things to support the channel, because it does mean a lot. And as time goes on, I think you're going to find more and more people like me out there. And hopefully that if I take the leap, take the risk, and become one of the first people to be a little bit more solution oriented and a little bit more reality based in my coverage, and I make the connections and things, God willing, right? That's where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing. Then this is just a start. It seems small right now, but there may be a day when I'm sitting across the table from this guy right here or somebody like him, having conversations and making breakthroughs with them, and joining collaborations and whatnot. It could. It's up to it's up to the big guy, because I'm gonna do what where the idea takes me. I'm just the color green in a world of gray. I'm just a servant to the circle. I go where it takes me, right? Dana, GEL, working and lurking. Thank you for being here, Dana. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. All right, let's finish this up.
LGBTQ people should have guns. Guns are a right. And if you got a problem with that, take it up with the founding fathers. They knew that not everybody was going to agree. The anti-federalists and the federalists were fighting.
The problem with that, with the gun stuff. It's okay. Oh, look at this.
And there is a fear there. But I'm not going to stop someone from buying guns. I'm just going to point it out. The Pennsylvania city has seen an influx. Like, all right, you can have guns. The problem is, I recognize one group as substantially more likely to engage in violence. And there is a fear there. But I'm not going to stop someone from buying guns. Agree on a lot. I'm just going to point it out. The Pennsylvania city has seen an influx of queer-focused Facebook groups and forums becoming hubs for discussions on gun training and ownership just weeks before the president-elect takes office again. Let's take a look at this image. Here is what is presumed to be a...
There you go. Make racists afraid again? Well, you need to be pointing that one at yourself, because you're actually the racist. The race-based, the race baiters are the real racists of today's society. Don't you know that? Did you not know that when you were getting your hair dyed pink and purple? You didn't know when you were looking in the mirror that you were the racist? You didn't know that.
A woman, I say presumed to be because you can't see their face, and it says make racists afraid again. And that appears to be an AK, I think. I don't know. I'm not, I have many guns. I am not the best, most well-informed gun person. I've taken a handful of gun safety courses, excuse me, and basic training because I think it's really important. They're going to say a therapist identified only as Doug, who decided to join the SR after the election, has echoed these concerns, saying, quote,
you know what's funny about this is like the whole thing about gun control they try to pull on us. Why do you need gun control? What do you need gun? You just need a shotgun for hunting and a bunch of bullshit like that. Remember that? Biden says all you need is a shotgun. All you need is all you need. All right. And we're like, no, it's for tyrannical government. It's for roving mobs. When corrupt government, incompetent government crashes the supply chain of the dollar or something like that, we got to defend our families. That's what they're for. And they're like, oh, you don't need that. Everything's gonna be fine. Now look, now that we're actually, hey Roscoe, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Now that we're actually going to be getting rid of all the things that would have eventually led to like something like a collapse or supply chain failure, things that would cause starving people to commit crimes and mass mobs and numbers, right? But they've been lied to about our agenda and what we're up to, and about how they don't realize that they're useful idiots for the corrupt establishment, the ones actually causing all the problems and all the woes and all the scarcity for people, right? They don't realize that. Now the mind control is taken over. I'm like, oh, we need guns to arm up because, there's going to be gay bashing. There's going to be all these horrible things they've been promising would happen if you let these MAGA people in, right, are going to start happening. So now they're the ones who are like, wow, my Second Amendment. Where would you be now if we'd let gun control like you wanted to go through, right? Are we finding some common ground here? Let's continue.
Let me go back. An LGBTQ advocacy group, Pink Pistols, says I believe this is a trans woman, not an actual woman.
Oh my God.
There's definitely a feeling
Pink
among
Pistols.
LGBTQ individuals, if I can't protect myself, who will? Madeline.
What? Never mind.
Shearman, a trans woman who runs a gun safety group, told the Inquirer, I feel that way myself. A therapist identified only as Doug echoed the sentiment. A former Boy Scout purchased their first gun. His? I guess this also must be a trans person. An AR-15 in early December over fears he, might be targeted for identifying as gender non-specific. And there it is. Yo, Daily Mail, you said they and he. Fine.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Specifically, Doug worries that authorities might flag him for being non-binary and that they might not be able to purchase a firearm in the future because of it.
Authorities might flag you for being non-binary. That's what you're going to sleep scared of every night. I call bullshit on that. Oh my God, they're going to turn that. This is what they've done. This is the mind control. This is how they emotionally trigger these people, and that's how they get their obedience and their manufacture their consent. Boxed into the narrative, information-based mind control. You don't need MK Ultra to do it, folks. This Doug they him day, right? Now got his first AR, right? And now he's scared there's a boogeyman coming out to get him, right? When he doesn't even know us. He, she, them, whatever, doesn't even know us, right? They only know the boogeyman we've been turned into by their boxed in establishment narrative. And there is a freaking information-based mind control. If you didn't think it was real, there it is. Just take a good hard think about that. Good to see you, Roscoe Cheat, man. Good to see you, brother. Happy that you're here.
Actually, yeah. Because let me pull up the Nix form.
Yeah, pull it up
and see if it's got a certain question on it. Let's
What question
see.
is
We'll
that?
grab. So that's it's the National Criminal Background Check form. Liberals have long argued for, and I've got an image of it right here. Let's pull
Show
up this
it to
bad
us.
boy, slide it on over, and take a look.
All right.
And there's a series of questions. Are you under indictment? Have you ever been convicted in any court of a felony? Are you a fugitive? Are you an unlawful user of or addicted to drugs, etc.? Have you ever been adjudicated as a mental defective, or have you ever been committed to a mental institution?
Oh,
so
I mean, that's a yes question for Doug. That's a oh yeah, but you think he would admit it? No, it's perfectly normal to be like me.
I guess that's the depth of that question.
But
I'm wondering if, as
you guys don't like being questioned with it's just common sense gun regulation. You don't like common sense? Oh, yes. Absolutely. They need help and they're not getting it. They're getting an enablement and it's sad.
Is listed as a mental disorder, there may actually be a law change or precedent or something that happens where the ATF is like, if you are suffering a mental disorder, with a known history to suicidality, you can't buy a gun. I don't agree with the Nix forms. The Constitution says you have a right to keep and bear arms. It doesn't have a caveat saying unless or otherwise. But I think there's a strong probability, considering that trans people make this argument all the time, that trans people are at high risk of suicide, and that's why they need treatments and surgeries. Government might say you can't buy a gun then for your own safety.
Yeah, for your
Not that I
safety.
believe the government, don't trust them as far as I can throw them. Quote, this country is not, I wouldn't say, on very solid footing. As a Boy Scout, I'd rather be prepared. I can respect that. I just don't trust you. As the Republican Party has pushed for increasingly restrictive policies on gender-affirming care and divisive policies, some LGBTQ Americans are turning to self-defense as their ultimate safeguard. It's all about survival, said Matthew
All right. This is interesting.
Thompson, a 36-year-old gay man from Oakland, New Jersey. We're not looking to arm up and storm the Capitol. We just don't want to be put in concentration camps, which, like,
Again, where are you getting this shit from? Where are you getting this shit from? Oh, man. I'll tell you what. The mind control is real. It's very real. It's very real.
it's never going to happen, by the way. So I will say, maybe you're starting to get the idea. Leftists, they like guns. I respect it. Yeah, I don't want you in concentration camps. I don't want anybody in concentration camps. Hey, one great deterrent for that is to be armed. Hence the Second Amendment.
Is it? Maybe don't let a corrupt government that Marxist undertones rule over you. Maybe get behind the people who want to actually care about you in the country. How about you hang with the people that would rather pray for you than pray on you? Maybe take that route. Maybe you'll feel a little bit safer.
You're starting to see things our way. Thompson's words echo sentiment growing louder in the LGBTQ community, especially in states where conservative lawmakers.
Good night, Memento. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Have advanced bans on gender-affirming care and portrayed trans individuals as societal threats. You see, this is the game they play. It's all about trans, obviously, when they say woke. I don't care if someone is trans.
Not true. I mean, we've turned it into that. That's not the origins of the word. That's not where it came from. When you think woke, just think critical theory. Okay. Don't think it's all trans. That's bullshit, Tim. That's slack. I'm calling you out. Look at you. Look at you. Yep. That's the face you would be making if I was there, because that's bullshit. Nope. Critical theory. When you think of critical theory, think cultural Marxist. That's the root. Let's not play little silly games, Tim. Let's not play silly games. We'll win silly prizes. All right. No. And the root of that is critical race theory, not critical gender theory. Wokeism came from critical race theory. It's all about, it's really at the next level of it is really all about race. Now it's been adopted by everything that is critical theory, because what's the root? There you have it. See how that works? Sure does. Sure is neat, isn't it? But yeah, that's how it works. It really does. I'm gonna have to start paying royalties to somebody for using this catchphrases. Anyways, that's the thing, and that's the point where I'm like, Tim's really smart, and he gets things, and he's good, and he's motivated, and he's got a lot of money, and he's got a lot of clout, and he spent his youth building that company and building everything he's doing, and he can skateboard and shit, but it's like that little bit more of education, just that next step. I'm hoping that parenthood will make him think more generationally. Right now, he's thinking very lifetime span, his individual lifetime span rather than generational, and countries and things like that were made generationally. They weren't made in one lifetime. So you got to expand that thought, but that's what the beauty of parenthood does for some folks. It helps them do that. Some folks naturally are like that. Some folks never get it. What a wonderful world. We live in a wonderful world full of excitement and things.
Not at all, in the least bit. Just don't bring it around schools and shove it in the face of kids. I don't care
See, we agree on that.
if you're trans or not trans. Showing adult content to kids is creepy, wrong, and is illegal, and should be more illegal, but they're getting away with a lot of it.
I wonder how.
Say,
For
All right.
many, the
Let
idea
me
of
sum
armed
up.
self-defense is no longer theoretical, but something that feels essential. A 24-year-old trans woman from Philly, named only as A, made the decision to purchase her first firearm after months of unease. 3 months before the election, that's when the alarm bell started to ring. As Texas upheld the ban on gender-affirming care for minors and Florida restricted access to
All right, right now I'm going to tell you guys something. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I see what time it is. I see that I've gone long on my story tonight. So I'm going to be back tomorrow night. I'm not cutting it right now, but I'm going to be back tomorrow night with a special report on just the obstruction of the inauguration and other deep state activities. Okay, because that's what the other half of the show is going to be. But I'm starting to go a little bit too long. It's almost up 3 hours right now. I'm going to finish this piece up, right, and then I'm going to promise you, give you my word, that will come back tomorrow at some time and finish it up. It may be a little it's definitely going to be a little earlier. Okay, I guarantee you that, than it was tonight. I'm sorry. I should probably start at 7:30 and keep my time slot. I went to 8:30 tonight. We had busy day, zebra alerts just going off left and right. So anyways, a lot of cleanup to do. So that's what's going to happen. So for all my awesome, cool, awesome, loyal, and very smart crowd, I wanted to let you guys know that, and so that way you can know that I'm not, even though I'm going to not get through all my stories tonight, I will come back tomorrow and finish up. That's the beauty of having a show called Winning Tonight is. I guess I need one called Winning Today too. Then I got to have another playlist and a goddamn another intro. No, it's just Winning Tonight, and I don't care when it comes on. If it's just a little bit dark outside, it's night. Okay, that's all it counts. All right, let's finish this up. Thank you guys so much, by the way. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you're watching somewhere and doing something, make sure that you like, subscribe, and join the movement known as Solution Culture. That's where you're at. We are together winning reality from people like these cultural Marxists who want to take it from us and turn it into some big steaming pile of bullshit. All right, so let's go. Join the cause. You got family and friends here. Let's hit it.
Hormone therapies, she felt an urgent need to prepare for her own safety. I just want to clarify, it's a guy. By November 2nd, he had purchased a Ruger Security 380 pistol, driven by the belief that minorities that are armed are more difficult to legally oppress. That's correct, and we all agree with it. Best of luck out there. Don't do anything illegal. In an outdoor shooting range in Pennsylvania's French Creek State Park, A practiced her aim.
Oh my God. What is that? The Liberal Gun Club. Every single civil right for every single person. Right. You were the guys who wanted common sense gun regulations, right? Aren't you the common sense gun regulation people? Mm-hmm.
There's a flag here. It says the Liberal Gun Club, every single civil right for every single person. I think you would need to define what that means. Every single right for every single person.
It means nothing. Okay. It's bullshit.
Is this this is the trans woman right here? This looks like a
let it soak in. Pink targets. You're shooting your own kind. I'm surprised they don't have rainbow targets. Good luck.
Middle-aged, overweight, bald man. Look, I'm just calling it like I see it. Rainbow hearts and a Protect Trans Kid sticker adorned her water bottle as spent bullet casings piled at her feet. A 380? I don't know. Look, I'm not a big gun guy, okay? But I'm just gonna say, it's any good is good, but a 380? I think it's kind of small. The stopping power, and that's rather limited. But I guess like I said, like depending on the circumstances, a gun's a gun, But you're going to want a variety. This is the funny thing about liberals. Not all, but many of them. They don't quite understand that there are different guns. If you ask them what a certain caliber is for, they're not going to be able to tell you. They're not going to be able to explain why you need 30 rounds in a standard magazine for, say, an AR-15 chambered in .556.
Right.
What is the purpose of that weapon and what does it do? What is it good for? Is it better for close quarters combat, longer range, blah, 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 blah. And again, I'm going to stress.
They don't want to be associated with an AR. I mean, that's what all those right-wingers have. That's a bad gun. That's an assault weapon. God damn it.
A big gun guy. There are a lot of the channels that are going to break it down way better for you. But I can at least tell you, I go to the shop, I talk to my buddies, and I say, what do you think I should have on hand in my home? And they say, something like this for this reason. I say, oh, okay. Shotguns sometimes are referenced. Some people just say, hey, get an AR-15, 5.56. People have different opinions, of course, but certainly you're not going to walk around with a Barrett M82 in your house, or is it M81A? What is it? I think, hold on, let me make sure I get this one right. M82A. Sorry, I got it wrong, everybody. M82A. Yeah, this thing I think weighs like 50 pounds, and it's for hunting helicopters. So you're not going to use it at your house. So when I see people like this and they're like, I got a 380, I'm like, that's good.
And drones.
But if you're talking about the government taking over and loading up into concentration camps, a little underpowered, I would say. Here's my real concern. Not that people want to defend themselves from tyranny. That's always fine. You have a right to keep and bear arms. Please do so. My issue is that these people, many of them, are violent. Not all of them. But the left has a high density of people who engage in riotous violence.
Oh, yeah.
And if they're going to be running around rioting now with guns.
Welcome to gun laws and what kind of trouble you can get in by not handling them correctly and having them at the wrong way at the wrong time in the wrong place. Welcome to that world. Go ahead, buy them. Buy them. Buy them. I want you to. Let's go.
It's disconcerting because we saw what happened in Seattle and Portland. They were pointing guns at random people. They killed teenagers. They killed children. Yep. And then they want to claim the right is more violent. I certainly hope the inauguration goes off without a hitch, but I'll wrap it up there. Smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know.
Thank you, Tims. Thank you, Tims. All right. Like I said, that was a warm-up for the rest of the show on that, which will be tomorrow night. I'll have a new thumbnail and a new show. And we'll go through all the other pieces of what could be happening for this possible obstruction, insurrection, whatever. I'm sure I'll have some new stuff to talk about tomorrow too. It is about, it's getting news to you and being out there. But I'll have a piece that we can go through that has more of a variety of sources that will quick hits on different things that are coming up about the inauguration, and it'll be it'll be awesome. It'll be freaking awesome, man. It'll be freaking awesome. All right, guys, I'm talking to you. That's the crowd. That's awesome. And by the way, if you would please make sure that you've liked this stream tonight. We got 18 likes right now, 200 views. We need to get that. We need to get those likes up, man. A like up, guys, like up. I'm talking about the YouTube side. How are we doing over there on the Rumble side? I got 8. I got 20 watching. Hey, Rumble, what's up, guys? If you enjoy the content and you're you're a very attractive, cool person, and you know it, please hit follow. And you're based and you like solutions, hit follow. Because I know that you're out there, and I'd love to meet you. And I'd love to get to know you, and I'd love to introduce you to this awesome crowd I have here every time I stream. They're phenomenal people, and this might be the scene that you've been looking for. This might be the place that you've been looking for. You've gone a lot of places, seen a lot of people, done a lot of things, right? But this might be the place that you have been looking for the whole time. All right, and we're just getting started. This is a juggernaut on its way to the top. See, I am a leftist. Oh, I think you meant a wrongist, right? There you go, Thomas. There you go. Yeah, I never heard of feminine guns. Either way, triggers pulled by anyone could kill a person. Yep. And those old spy shows where real women carried small close range fire-offs. Yeah, those little guns, right? And little purse guns. Yes, please listen to Heidi. She's awesome. Let's see. Thomas, the extreme right and the extreme wrong sides. Yeah, the extreme left's wrong too. There you go. They're always just wrong. See, yeah, that's why I said you could always just cash it. You could always just write it up to establishment versus anti-establishment. Where is your energy and output and your results going to end up? Who's going to end up favoring, enabling, and doing all those things for? Right. That's the real paradigm that's out there. I've been saying it for a long time. Right. If you're awake, resisting. If you're awake, aware, and resisting, you're part of the anti-establishment. Welcome to your home. You're here. You're home. You've met that we keep things very base. We go from a root cause, root issue, root cause solution. mentality. We have the lenses of subversion on. We see through the subversion and the mind control that's out there, the information-based mind control. And we spent an entire show here just proving it by covering just what's out there right now. Well proved. You don't need any kind of fancy CIA inside job, MK Ultra, Bigfoot, drone attacks to see reality is already the way it is. And that conspiracies are real. It's called Agenda 2030. We need to stop that. That's the only one you need to worry about. You stop that, you end Marxism, and you start putting in generational fixes, and all this shit goes away. The best world is ahead of us. Peace, love, prosperity, freedom, all things you want. And all these people with the problems and stuff, they age out, go away. And we raise healthier children who aren't corrupted, demoralized. That's the goal. That's the way you fix it. That's what hasn't been done yet, guys. That's what has not been done yet. So you want to keep doing the same thing or try something new? Try something new that's probably going to work. Take a look at what I'm talking about. It's going to make sense, right? So no, you can come back and hang out with me anytime. Just hit that, subscribe, follow, thumbs up, ring the bells, because I'm Shadow Band, because I talk about the truth. I'm not sensational. I'm not drama. I'm not grifting the hell out of you, right? I'm not doing any of that bullshit, right? I'm just a real dude. He really wants to win and wants you to come with him. Yeah. He wants to see real results and real solutions. You're here. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here this evening. You guys rock this world. You make it all happen. And I will see you very soon. I'll see you tomorrow night and the night after that, and nights. All right, cool. Take care. And until next time, stay based and keep on winning.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.